What? This also would have looked way cooler if one of your arms was actually still in frame.
It was the We're Live snap for you to then do.
Tifa will never learn how camera frames work. Happy Sunday, everybody! Oyashiro-sama's curse keeps striking us all weekend, and this intro just adds to it. But first, Psycho, thank you for being here, and thank you very much for a resub.
I appreciate it.
Love.
Love.
So, let's get through this. For some reason, it is not actually super warm currently here, but it's very humid. So, even though it's like 25-ish degrees, a bit under that I think, I'm sitting here and I'm sweating, and I shouldn't be. This is like late spring temperatures. I should not be sweating right now. It's fine. Yesterday, we woke up and I'm like, why don't we go out for breakfast to the spot we usually go to have like a breakfast buffet thing. So we go there, they doubled the price, we fought, and they had none of the things we wanted. So we just grabbed some stuff and then we went to pay, and the guy's like, oh yeah, I can just, why don't you just get that other offer? And we're like, well, we looked, you don't have that anymore.
That's usually what we come here for.
Yeah, specifically because it's really good value. He's like, yeah, no, we do still have it, but we are currently not advertising it because we had to make space, because where would we put the advertisements for it? And I look at Tifa and I look back into the store and I'm thinking like, I don't know, the places where it always said that you have that?
Which is now replaced by the other offer they always had.
Which is effectively twice the price. Not the point. So I just look back at him and we're both like, yeah, no, that would be awesome. Thank you. We'll just get more than later. It's cool. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for letting us know. Next time, I guess we'll just ask. Because if there's one thing I hate, is going to a store, to a restaurant, anywhere, and having to know that they have things. Because if they don't advertise that they have a specific offer, how would you know? How do you know? Unless you've been there before. And if they take away the things advertising that they have something, I have to assume that they don't do that anymore. Because why else would they take away the thing? I don't want to be the annoying person that goes, oh, can I have a discount? Can I have this? Can I have that that's not on the menu? Just say it. Anyway.
On the bright side, food was really good. So in the end, it was a nice breakfast.
It wasn't bad. So, that was that. What else happened Saturday? Nothing really. Nothing worth talking about. So, today, I'm like, listen, yesterday with breakfast, it kind of threw us off where everything went. How about we treat ourselves for lunch, we go to a cafe, we get some cake. Cool, awesome. It looks like rain outside. I check my phone, it says rain expected for the next hour, but after that, sunny, maybe a few clouds. I'm like, that's perfect, we just had breakfast, let's just take it easy for a bit, play some video games or something, and then when we're ready, we just leave. And then we go there, and then we do takeaway, I'll make coffee to take along in a thermos, we find a nice place to sit down, and just have some cake with some coffee. Out in the open, in a park or something. So we get in the bus, we go to the cafe, we get the stuff, cool. We look for a nice place to sit, we find one, we sit down, and it's kind of like that scene in Star Wars where suddenly it gets dark because the Star Destroyer suddenly appears. It was like that.
But it was super nice though, because we were also sitting next to some water, and from the distance, you could see the rainfall on the water bit, and it started like racing towards us. And you could follow it in the little lake thing. And it was kind of cool to see.
We had bought cake to eat there, and we had bought cake to take along. And then they changed their packaging, so now it's a flimsy cardboard box. And we just finished eating the cake we wanted to finish there, and we see the clouds, and Tifa points out, look over there, it's starting to rain, because you can see little pitter-patter on the water slowly approaching us. And I'm thinking, okay, that looks kind of cool, but also, please stay like this. And you see the little drops, they move towards us, and then you can hear the rain, and then you can start feeling like little like tiny, like teardrops from the gods above. And then the rain starts, and then I keep looking at the water, and like it comes in waves. Like first a little bit of rain, which would have been like, okay, cool, we can just walk back to the next bus stop and go back.
And then it starts pouring.
And then it went medium level rain, and I'm like, okay, let's just walk a bit faster, Tifa, let's get going. And then you don't see the water surface anymore because it comes down like a torrent from, I don't know, wherever rain comes from, the heavens.
Where does rain come from?
You couldn't see your hand in front of your face anymore. The rain was so thick. I know that's not what rain does, it's more like fog, but you get the idea. So we hurried under a tree to stay mostly dry. Every time the rain let up for a second, we like cockroaches in the light, we scurried off to the next tree and on. And I swear, we are half a minute away from the bus stop where we can get shelter. It stops raining.
Oh, sorry, typical. But it was still fun.
Yeah.
So stop being salty. We had cake. And
That's
there's
true.
more cake in the freezer now.
That is true. The rest of the cake we were able to cover it in a way that the box didn't soak through. So we can have that cake and eat it too. I never understood that idiom either. Like, I also don't know where it comes from. I should Google that in a moment.
Can't have your cake and eat it too makes sense. It
I'm gonna
absolutely
Google
does.
that because I know that's an expression. I know how it's supposed to be used, but Tales from Google. I'm entering into the Google search thingy, can't, and the first thing I find that it auto-completes to is can't uninstall Valorant. Really, people that play Valorant? You can't uninstall it? I'm not gonna Google it, but is that an actual problem people who play Valorant have? And if so, is it addiction or is it a technological issue? Kernel level access. Okay, that sounds like malware to me. Yeah,
Seems
fair
to be
enough.
the same as League of Legends, because that's also in the list. Can't uninstall League of Legends.
Okay, yeah. I did not know that. I don't play those games.
Once you play, you may never stop.
We own you. Can't have your cake and eat it too. So, is a popular English idiomatic proverb or figure of speech. It literally means, according to Wikipedia, you cannot simultaneously retain possession of a cake and eat it too. Once the cake is eaten, it is gone.
Schrödinger's cake?
No.
If it's in a box,
It's
did I
similar
eat
to
it
you
or did
can't
I
have
not?
it both ways. But what I've never understood about this particular way of saying it is, I buy or make cake to eat it.
I can have it first and then eat it.
But when I say I'm having cake, that I know I'm saying I'm having cake, but that means I'm eating cake.
Also, I think the people in the store might look a bit weird if I eat the cake first and then ask if I can have a piece.
Yeah, that's theft.
Anyway, all in all, it was a good weekend, even though I kind of thought today was Saturday. So I thought
Unfortunately
we
not.
had a whole other day tomorrow,
No.
which we don't.
It is already Sunday, Tifa. And for a good reason, because we need to continue with chapter 3 of Higurashi. But more on that later. So having also means eating. You can't eat it anymore because you already had it. I already clicked it away because I still don't like, I mean, I use it too, but I still don't vibe with the proverb like that.
Well, the thing is, the
doesn't make sense
moment
in
you
my-
eat it, you don't have it in your possession anymore.
Yes,
and
I do.
here, the have is...
I literally have it in my possession. It is inside of me.
Yeah, but you
I'm
can't,
real
like, just take it out. Like, it's not the same.
For those unfamiliar with it, that means you and me in this case, the proverb may sound confusing due to the ambiguity of the word have, which can mean keep or to have in one's possession, but which can also be used as a synonym for eat. Some find the common form of a proverb to be incorrect or illogical and instead prefer you can't eat your cake and then still have it too.
That does sound a bit weird.
Indeed, this used to be the most common form of the expression until the 1930s to 1940s when it was overtaken by the have-eat variant. Okay.
Now, I feel like it makes sense because, yeah, if you eat it, you basically destroy it, so you don't have it anymore.
I don't know, man. This is a saying that dates back as far as 1538. English people talked funny back then. I don't know.
How does a saying start? Because I feel like all sayings come from way too long ago. But how would you start a modern saying?
That happens all the time.
TikTok, I guess.
Wherever memes come from. Not memes as in funny pictures that make you go haha, which is basically just anything that's been screenshotted nowadays. Which is fine, you know, funny is funny.
Yeah, but you need to say something, then spread it out into the world, and the world has to repeat it.
Basically, yeah, that's the definition of meme. You have a thought and you share it with others, and then it becomes part of your DNA. A meme is like a gene, just not in your body. It's more like a in your mind thing. Yeah, that's how it starts.
You know, I'm trying to put the meme apart and have an actual official saying that will be in, what do you even call those things in English? The book of sayings.
The dictionary.
No, you don't have
Wikipedia.
You don't have sayings in dictionaries, do you?
Kek is a meme from World of Warcraft and is now an emote. Exactly.
Yeah, that is true, but it's not an actual saying.
Kind of. LOL is technically an abbreviation for laughing out loud.
That is true, but also doesn't fall under a saying.
But isn't it?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
What's the definition of an actual...
I mean, if you go with... it's a phrase, awesome-omatic, exactly. If you go with current day things, which I don't think I'm able to use properly, but I've seen and heard them, so I know they exist. What the Sigma?
What the Sigma?
Yeah. Or having, I believe it's called having Ohio Riz.
I'm up.
Those are things that people are saying.
I don't think I'm...
Jack, stop. Why? Just because I can't use them properly doesn't mean I can't repeat them for everybody to be aware of what I'm talking about.
Suddenly I feel extremely old for someone that spends a lot of time on the internet. What is that?
I think that that's not us being old, that it is instead some things because of us being... I'm disproving my own point. Okay, fuck it. So it is because of us being old, yes. I want to say once you reach a certain point in your life, whenever new slang shows up, you might not necessarily adopt all of it. Like, I understand what people mean when they say or use the word riz. It's charisma. I get that. I don't usually say it myself, but I understand them. Similarly, especially around Twitch, there's expressions like pog.
Yeah, okay, I remember also not understanding pog when it just came out, because all of a sudden everywhere in Twitch chat, people were like, oh, pog.
Yeah, I understand.
Pog. I'm like, what the fuck is pog?
I understand what it means, but I don't say that myself.
I mean, I also wouldn't say it myself, no. But at some point it just popped up and I was like, oh.
Yeah, that's how speech language works. Sometimes people come up with new things, and when they use them, and when other people start using them because they think it sounds kind of nifty, and then it spreads. And either you use it as well or you don't, but that's fine.
Technology progressed so fast that the current youth is more disconnected than 50 years before. Disconnected from the earlier generation, that is.
Yeah, I want to say...
That seems about right as well.
I think I agree with you. I would have said it differently. The perception of time has changed dramatically. If you think back to when we were kids, newspapers were still a thing.
Yes.
But at some point, with the advent of smartphones and the internet being everywhere in your life, the news cycle has withered and died. Because it used to be, you would get your news every day. With the TV, maybe in the morning there was a news broadcast, and then in the evening there was one. Then you had CNN and shows, stations like that would continuously run the news. But eventually, with a smartphone being in everybody's hand, new things are happening every single second somewhere on Earth. And if you go to like Reddit or any social media website where people share information with each other, you will be barraged with a constant flow of information. And as people, we kind of like adapted to that. I want to say that's part of the reason why things like Vine, to a lesser degree because it died at some point, but also when Shorts and TikTok became so popular.
You don't have to really pay attention, you can just scroll and every single minute there's something new.
No, but two things. A, you do pay attention just for bursts. Like your brain goes, haha funny, more, haha funny, more, I didn't like it, swipe, haha funny, more. Like your brain gives you constant rushes of endorphins that go like, yeah, that was good, I'm gonna share that. Didn't like that one so much, this one was funny, this one was funny. That's why the TikTok algorithm is so devious. Because it really quickly picks up on the things that you keep watching and just gives you more of that.
That is true.
With there being now 8 billion people on the world, there's probably always somebody making something you will enjoy. Plus, when the nefarious part of this is, companies started monetizing that. Because they go, oh, this kind of stuff is what people watch, and there's engagement, people talk about this, people interact with it, so we need to make more of that. Whether it is scantily clad ladies doing the meme TikTok dances, or it's rage bait on the news, in Fox News, or other things.
That is just smart marketing.
That's
really.
not smart, that's disgusting if you ask me.
I agree, but still it's smart, because even if you post something where you already know people are going to be outraged about it, they will feel the need to comment. And by commenting, you help them getting it more popular. Yeah, it's clickbait, but it works. Yeah. Why do you think there is so much clickbait? Because it's extremely effective.
I think I just have a genius moment. Listen, here's my epiphany. This is the wisdom I want to dispense today.
Oh? What wisdom do we get?
Falling for rage bait, the clickbait that makes you angry, isn't it kind of the same as telling the Nigerian prince in your spam emails that yes, you will send him $5,000 to help him get the money to you? Because that's the disgusting part about it. Somebody, usually on the internet because it's easier, somebody puts something on the internet that is vile, heinous, usually it's racist shit. And then you have a reaction to it because you're a human being and you don't want vile, racist, heinous shit anywhere near you. You don't want other people to see that crap because it's gonna attract other idiots. So you have a reaction to that because that's the human thing to do, that's your instincts. But the moment you interact with that, you post a comment saying like, no, these things are factually wrong, there are sources about this has been disproven, this is actual fake news. Especially
for like on Facebook, there's no meaning or no point in doing that.
Then that blows up. I don't know if that is still the case as of today, the 4th of August, but I remember seeing a video about this once, where they talked about the YouTube algorithm, specifically Rebecca Black Friday, being the most downvoted, disliked video on YouTube at the time.
It's Friday, Friday.
They were shortly talking about the fact that everybody disliked, or most people that watched it disliked the video. We're not talking about the reasons, but they clicked the dislike button. But for YouTube, at least at the time, here's the kicker. Likes and dislikes have the same meaning. It's engagement. Somebody clicked on it. It had enough of a reaction that you clicked on it. So ultimately, if you want to, at least back then, I don't know how it is today, don't take my word for this, the total sum of engagement in terms of likes and dislikes is just both the numbers together. Like, if you dislike a video, and you don't want other people to see it, the smartest thing you can do is to just stop watching it.
Yeah, but stop watching and scrolling doesn't seem to be part of human nature, at least as well. Because everyone has an opinion and
because
we all
you
want to
go,
out it.
No, I don't like this, Jack. The video you uploaded is shit. Dislike. And then the algorithm goes, oh, but people get mad about this, so we should show this to more people. because more people will get mad.
The algorithm won't even understand if people get mad about it. It's just like, oh, there's so much interaction going on. I'm gonna show this to even more people because everyone wants this.
One correction, the algorithm could, but it's not programmed that way.
It doesn't need to. Interaction's interaction.
It's money, right? More advertisers. Hello, Dark Lord. Happy Sunday. How are you doing? Gotta get down on Friday.
At least 100 views of Friday are like mine because that was so much fun when Friday came out. I seriously don't get the hatred.
I've been, I guess, in the lucky position that I haven't seen Friday back when it came out. I wasn't really watching. No, I wasn't really using or regularly watching things on YouTube until like 2010, 2011. Like I knew YouTube existed, but I remember the old YouTube.
Wait, isn't that when Friday came out? How old is Friday? Friday, Rebecca Black. When did this song come out?
Do it from over here so that people can at least still see your face.
Here, 2011.
Yes, okay. So, if you let me continue.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, but you said I haven't been using YouTube since like 2010, 2011, which is when the song came out.
Can I tell you what I meant now?
Yeah.
No, you want to keep talking about how I didn't mean what I mean. I didn't even get to say it.
I was just confused.
I'm sweating from this.
It's super warm.
You know, when people first start using a platform like YouTube, in my case, that meant slowly, once a week, I clicked on maybe one video. And I never really clicked like the things that were on the main page because they just didn't seem interesting to me.
Fair.
So I wanted to say I haven't seen or listened to Friday. It's just Friday? Friday. Until a few years after it came out, and then I learned all the history of it, how people hated on her. And kudos to Rebecca Black. She had the chance to make a song and a music video, and she did that.
She was just a girl having some fun, grabbing her chance.
She did not deserve the hate people spewed at her. That's disgusting. If you don't like it, don't watch it. The same is true for us. If you don't like what we're doing, don't watch it. Please, first remember to dislike and comment why you... No, but just don't watch it. Your life is so short. Do something you have fun with.
Feels like we're adults here. Rebecca was 12 or 13 when that song came out.
Yeah, that's even more disgusting. Why would you hate on a 12-year-old?
And it's the same with Justin Bieber and stuff when he was younger too. All of the hate these young kids get for just bringing out a song. It's amazing. What makes you think, I absolutely hate this song? I'm gonna send her a letter. Not even gonna comment on her YouTube video. I'm gonna send her a letter and wish her death.
Jack said engagement is bad for things I don't like. I'm gonna send him a fax.
Yeah, but the amount of people that
don't have a fax address, by the way, or fax number.
that actually did these things is
it's wild. First things I watched on YouTube back then were Death Note and Bleach.
The time you could watch everything on YouTube.
Yeah, because back then nobody checked either.
And then you started looking for episode 1 sub, and then you found this playlist which had part 1.1, 1.2 because there were restrictions on how long it could be.
Bleach episode 1 with subs part 1, and then the video was 9 minutes 59 long because back then not everybody could upload YouTube videos over 10 minutes, and then it was part 2. And then part 3 usually was 2-3 minutes because the episode is I want to say 22-ish minutes with anime most of the time, if it's
something
half an hour format.
Yeah.
So you had 9:59, 2 minutes something, and they were cut really badly. Not when it made sense, but exactly at the time limit.
Youth nowadays will never know what we went through.
Yeah, and we didn't have any other options.
The good old days.
The alternative was to go to Japan to watch. People usually express hate because they don't want more of a thing.
Yeah, but on the internet, unfortunately, that's not how it works. Because hate sells.
My biggest problem, I want to say, with hate on the internet is that people... I don't know if it's the anonymity of it all or just the social construct being different. Pretty sure there's studies on all of this. But that people don't necessarily just say, if they do, like, listen, I've worked with customers of various kinds all of my adult life in my career. And I've seen 1,000 different ways of like a customer promotion score, CPS, and all of these metrics where you can gauge, did people like the interaction of a thing they bought, or all of these things. When it comes to like streams, putting videos on YouTube, if you want to say you didn't like it, and you do go to the effort to leave a comment like this, first of all, thank you, because you don't like something and your opinion on this makes you feel like you want to share this. That takes effort. Like, it takes a couple of seconds or whatever to write with, hey, I didn't like this. So thank you for expressing that.
If it's you can also give constructive criticism, or just go.
That's way beyond that. No, let's start.
Okay.
Let's start earlier. If you just go, hey, let's do this about us. Hey, Jack Tifa, I didn't like that. First of all, thank you for letting us know. I don't know if it will change anything, but thank you. Thank you for taking the time to type that. But that's fine. Not everything is for everybody. And voicing your opinion like this, I don't have a problem with that, and I don't think anybody should. Then there is, of course, constructive criticism. Like every time I try to say a joke, or tell a joke. And that's fine too. You know, feedback is what you make out of it. But to watch something and then go, oh my God, I hate you. I want to do insert crime here to your insert family members here. And then I will insert more crimes that usually involve danger and death to a person. Why? Like, what went wrong in your life that you really feel like this is how you should be acting? Like, do these people at the end of the day lay in bed and then masturbate to the idea like, yeah, today I told a 12-year-old they're idiots? Like,
one problem I've encountered is that actual legit criticism is hand-waved away as you're just a hater without trying to understand the reason for it. That is also true.
Yes.
And honestly, on the internet, unless I know the person or someone is actually asking for it, even if I have legit criticism or instructive feedback, I just don't. Constructive feedback?
Instructive feedback goes further. These are the instructions, you do that.
Do it. I just don't, because that.
I think that's an expression of being on the receiving end of the actual hate. That there is so much vitriol, like, you know, the people that just described were like, oh, I'm gonna kill you in your sleep because you said that word wrong. Your rhyme didn't make sense in that song you posted from your bedroom. That a lot of people then jump the opposite way and go like, oh no, everything is fine, everything you do is perfect, criticism is just hatred. That's also wrong, I think. Like,
but it's also such an individual thing, it's hard to point your finger on that. We actually posted a video not too long ago and someone posted a comment which I think was meant as an insult to...
Wait, let's give this details because it's easier to understand.
Good.
The last couple of weeks I wanted to get into the habit of disciplining myself to sit down and upload shorts. That's that vertical stuff that people really like. I don't love it. It takes me effort to make these, but I want to get in the habit because people watch them. You know, there's a thing. So,
our editor.
That's me. Hey, editor. Hi, Jack. Me talking to myself. You know, usually people wonder why that happens, but here there's a reason. Anyway, so I upload those and I try to get them out there regularly. And I made a clip of you going, oh, I don't like airplanes that shouldn't work.
The airplane's flying.
It's thousands of tons of metal. How can it fly? And
it feels unnatural. That's what we were talking about. Yeah.
And then I went like, no, it's physics, because, you know, I try to make interactions funny, and so does she, because we're here to entertain you and ourselves. And if we all laugh, that's easier. And then somebody replied with, you can tell she's a liberal. No, listen, the way I just said that already, that's my reading of it. I don't know what to make of it. Is that supposed to be a compliment? That they picked up the fact that I think we are both very left-leaning?
I'm also not sure if it's supposed to be an insult or not. And I wasn't even sure what liberals stand for.
Yeah, Tifa had to look that up.
So I'm like, okay, what do liberals actually stand for? And wait, what were some of the things? Let me quickly get that back.
While Tifa refreshes her memory, I read the comment and I was thinking like, am I supposed to feel offended? Like,
it could also be a compliment, I don't know, because when I look up liberal, it says open to new ideas. Okay. Willing to respect or accept behavior or opinions different from one's own. I'm like, okay, this can't be an insult, right? Relating to or denoting a political and social philosophy that promotes individual rights, civil liberties, democracy, and free enterprise. I'm like, this all doesn't seem too bad. You know?
Then I had to explain to Tifa, or she figured it out while Googling, that like, that's generally used by people on the American right wing of the political spectrum. Let's not discuss that into detail because I will not end up playing Higurashi. They use that as a negative term. And to this day, I don't understand this. I don't think I will ever understand this, but that's how it is. So that happened. And when I actually asked Tifa, do I delete this comment? And when we were both thinking like, first of all, if this was meant as an insult, it failed. Because, yeah, I guess we're liberals. Spoilers, if you actually clicked on the video that's linked there and you listen to us talk for like longer than 5 minutes, yeah.
I don't even know where I stand in Germany on the political spectrum, let alone in America.
Left, very. In Germany, I want to say like center left, like halfway between far left and center. And in America, I think you would be a socialist cuck. Because there's only extremes, really, in the minds of too many people. But it's fine, because I too am a socialist cuck. By the definition of those people. That's fine, I'll take that. I don't take offense with that. But when today somebody else commented under it, going, what was it? She's using the same logic that people on the right use why gay people
can't get married or something.
Can't get married. And when I was sitting here like, okay, I don't like where this is going, but what is this person actually saying?
I felt like the comments went past me, so I'm just leaving it to you.
Yeah, so fair, but we have discussions about this. Discussion sounds so big. So when I'm thinking, okay, who is this person now trying to pick a fight with? Because is it against us? I don't think so. I think it's about the person calling you a liberal, and I don't know, I haven't talked to this person, I haven't asked him, I don't think I will. Using the word liberal like it's a negative. Okay, so, but then, now I go deeper into the rabbit hole.
Yeah, we had a whole talk about this today, and I think in the end we still didn't get it.
The person who then said, oh, she's using the same logic as, to me, morons would go, oh, gay people can't get married, because that's not right. Fuck those people, first of all. But that's not the point. Using the same logic as the idiots in this argument why this shouldn't be. And I was thinking, okay, but now, does this person realize we were joking? Like, Tifa understands why planes exist. Tifa understands how planes fly. That was not the point of the clip. And then I'm thinking, do I now delete one or both of the comments to ensure that in the future nobody else sees either one of these comments and goes, oh my god, my favorite letter is X, is Schrodinger's politician. They are both far right and far left at the same time, depending on what argument one made. I got so paralyzed with this thought that I just didn't do anything. I just like, okay, like.
Well, in the end, we decided to leave it there because it doesn't seem to like still cross any lines, even though we don't 100% understand where they're going to.
We can still delete them later if we want to.
We can, yeah, of course. But for now, we said we will leave them.
Yeah.
And for us, it's interaction, but we do usually go through all of the comments posted. We're very small streamers and posting on YouTube as well. So like every comment is also very nice. And then we're like, oh, someone commented. Thank you.
And thankfully, I'm pretty sure that might happen at some point because that's just how it works on the internet. Like the memes, the cliches exist for a reason. But we don't get a lot of hate, if any. You know, usually like the cliche, archetypical comment in the comment section is like, oh my god, you should kill yourself. Because, you know...
We're also too small for that. The moment you grow big, that's when you usually see those comments pop up with people.
Possibly, but I mean, then I can still delete them or like disable comments if it ever gets on my nerves, but I don't know. Some people post some really weird stuff on the internet, and I don't mean us in this case.
Presume they're bots you typically. I'm usually pretty good at picking out bots, and we have seen them before, but I'm not sure if these actually are. I
don't know. I'm not gonna ask them, but you might be right.
Well, that either.
Accepting other opinions. I know, right? What a novel concept. Kudos to you actually trying to understand. Thank you. Like, it's so easy to dislike and hate other people, but like I want to at least try to understand. I will probably still disagree with most of the stuff, but...
But fortunately, with most comments, we don't have to have a whole talk about what does it mean.
Yeah, no, that's funny. Most European countries are farther left than most American standards. Yeah, especially with, unfortunately, I want to say, like I get all of my American news either from all of you or from watching clips from the late night shows, the Stephen Colbert's, the John Oliver's and those. And I'm pretty sure that if you just go out to your neighbors and you just talk to them, it's not all like bordering on civil war. Because that's not how people work. I don't think that. But if you follow the... I don't know, the vibe that is being broadcast on those shows and in the news, it very much seems like us versus them. And I don't understand that. Some political parties over here try to do the same thing. I don't understand that. Like we all, don't we all want the same thing? We all want to get through the day, try to be happy and live the lives we want, right?
Yeah, but I care about how you get through the day because that might affect how I go through the day. So that's why it's important.
And therefore, when I'm being liberal with my ideas and I believe, I don't know, people should have healthcare and stuff, that makes me a piece of trash. Because you disagree politically. Therefore, my life has no more value because I have different ideas. Now,
I find politics really hard because, like you said, at the end of the day, I don't really care that much about politics, care about how it's conducted, the arguments are sound, etc. And I have the same, I don't really look it up. I also find that every party, whether it's far right or far left, always has some points where I can go, okay, yeah, I see where you're coming from. Do I agree with the solution on how they want to fix it? Probably not.
Yeah.
But I also don't go into all of the details, and I'm gonna be really honest, I also don't vote every time. Sorry, I know, it's bad. I should. I voted last year, not this year.
There wasn't a vote this year.
Was it?
No.
No, there was. Or was that? No? Oh, no. Last year maybe. I don't even know when I voted then. Or what I voted for.
First world problems. When you know you should be voting, but it's work.
I know it's important and I try to keep up a very little bit, but...
Oh well. Divide and conquer a polarized population is easier to control with rage bait. Yeah, unfortunately the truth. Which is one of the many reasons why we just sit here and we talk about dumb shit and play video games. I say dumb shit, sometimes we have deep, meaningful conversations and I don't mean to devalue that, but ultimately, I'm gonna make this sound really fancy.
Ultimately, we're here to have fun.
I'm gonna make this sound like I'm smelling my own farts for fun. The purpose of our content is to entertain. It's not deeper than that. And at the end of the day, if I make somebody laugh, I'm okay with it. And
You did make me believe there that you do enjoy smelling your own farts.
Only sometimes. Depends on what I eat.
Oh yeah, no,
I couldn't keep a straight face with that. Sorry. I wanted to sell that so hard. I wanted to sell that so hard.
The hot Trump meme is they posted a picture of him with several black women around him, but upon closer inspection, the picture is very clearly AI. It's also really hard though to still believe any, I'm gonna call them shit pictures on the internet nowadays. But I also haven't seen that one.
That's, I find that hilarious. Can confirm this is very entertaining. Thank you very much. I'm happy to hear that.
Cheers.
So I've been shit-talking Bruce Springsteen, which is making him 0 new friends. Who hates Bruce Springsteen? No, like actually, who hates
How do you even get to...
Listen, sometimes when I'm bored or I want to know something about a person, I go to their Wikipedia page. And I just opened the Wikipedia page for Bruce Springsteen.
He's 74 by now.
Yeah, and he still makes music, I think.
Yeah, I believe they're still active, but...
Now, I'm not a Bruce Springsteen fan. I know a couple of his songs and some of them I really enjoy. Didn't he also make, what is it, Summer of '69?
Well, you keep scrolling up and down so no one can actually read it.
Summer of '69. Oh, that's Bryan Adams. Okay. I'm pretty sure Bruce Springsteen... Their names both start with a br. Okay, wait.
It's pretty close.
Bruce Springsteen songs. Dancing in the Dark, that's a good one. Streets of Philadelphia, yeah, okay. I know a couple of his songs and I like them. I wouldn't go to a concert of his, but I like them. But what I enjoy doing on Wikipedia is to check if there is a tab in there with like controversies or like legal battles. So let's have a look. Personal life, views. Rejecting religion earlier, Springsteen said in 2016 that he has a personal relationship with Jesus. Okay, cool, whatever. Like, you do you. In an interview with Tom Hanks in 2017, he admitted that he evaded taxes early in his career. Yeah, I don't like that. I think people should pay their taxes. I mean, I do too. But he doesn't anymore. Okay, you made a mistake. You don't make that mistake anymore. You paid your dues now, so nice. And he has supported Barack Obama, and he supports LGBT rights, and he celebrates the Women's March. Okay.
Oh, right, that's probably why it was against Trump. Or against the incoming Trump administration. I mean, that would explain why Trump...
A staunch critic of Donald Trump. Okay, so now I think we know why Donald Trump has a problem with Bruce Springsteen. Okay, now I know. Now I learned this, and I have to say, I have no beef with Bruce Springsteen. I don't have a problem with his views. At least not from what I just read. I don't know the guy personally, I don't know every interview he's ever given. Trump's been harshing on him because he's on his Harris side. I mean, maybe come up with some ideas that make people like you more versus just having them hate the other side. But just my 2 cents.
Oh well. You know which place is also extremely political?
Oh yeah, somehow it is actually. Higurashi. As we learned during chapter 2, Higurashi is actually really fucking political.
There are politics involved.
Not by current 2024 political issues, but dealing with micro-political issues of the Shishibone prefecture, and specifically Hinamizawa. That's very true. Tifa, we are about to start Higurashi When They Cry chapter 3. Tatarigoroshi, I think it's called. I had to lean forward because I couldn't read it.
Where do you even see it?
There. Would you please give us a quick rundown of the story thus far?
Well, we finished chapter 2.
Starting with chapter 1.
Oh, yeah, true. We said we would go into a full recap every time. Okay.
Here we go. Do the thing.
Once upon a time.
So, Higurashi in its entirety so far starts off with us as the players witnessing a murder.
Wait, no, we're not actually doing this, by the way. You sounded so serious in your intro of your... back when we started.
Yeah, watch me. And after that we get to follow Keiichi Maebara as he moves together with his dad and his mom to his new home in Hinamizawa, where he attends school and meets his new friends. There is Mion Sonozaki, the green-haired girl, there is Reina Ryugu, the orange-haired girl, there is Satoko, forgot her last name, pretty sure somebody will correct me in a moment, the little blonde girl that likes to bicker and play pranks on him, and there's the cute and adorable Reina-chan, Reina Furude, Satoko Hojo. Thank you very much. Thank you, appreciate it.
Don't enable him!
And there is Reina-chan, Reina Furude, who is cute and does
Psycho?
Meep.
No, we're not.
And then, if you let me finish, I'm almost done actually. Stop hating on things I haven't done yet.
I haven't done yet. You're in it. You're in the middle of it.
You're delaying it. You're stalling. How about you let me finish and then you can hate on me? After the fact, when you actually have proof that I did something wrong in your opinion.
But I already have enough proof.
Tifa is just a hater. Exactly. Tifa is playing Higurashi. Anyway. So, we meet our new best friends and we go through the daily school life until eventually in chapter 1 something goes wrong. Keiichi finds some articles about a dam construction site and people in Hinamizawa killing and removing the body parts of a person that worked on the dam construction site. One of the people that did this has gone hiding, we don't know anything about them, and when he starts asking questions, he asks his friends and they start acting weird. Specifically Reina and Mion, who, in the end up killing him. Chapter 2. Yeah, too long for you? Bitch. Didn't think so. Chapter 2, after he died in the end of chapter 1, chapter 2 somehow, we don't know why, starts in media res a few days before the festival, the Watanagashi. The story is kind of similar, but also not really to how it played out in chapter 1. Chapter 2 introduces Mion's twin sister Shion. They have history together, we learn new things about the individual characters, for example that the Sonozaki family, Mion and Shion, is actually a huge Yakuza clan and they want to run the town completely after just running most of it in the area. Eventually, as Keiichi learns these things and trespasses into the ritual storehouse, it turns out that Mion ends up killing people and everything goes to shit, but somehow eventually he survives, but things are shit. Now it's time for chapter 3. We don't know what's gonna happen. I assume we're gonna be Keiichi again. I assume we're gonna have some sort of story centering around the night of Watanagashi, that festival. And then something will happen. Things I've left out because they connect the two chapters. Watanagashi is a festival where a futon is being sacrificed to appease the evil spirits and make them go away. But actually, chapter 2 establishes that Watanagashi is used to kill people that are being hated for some reason. They usually find some reason. Because the old families of Hinamizawa believe they are the descendants of demons and therefore better than others. And they just deserve to do this. Also, they eat people sometimes.
Only sometimes. Nothing wrong with that.
Yes. Another recurring threat, every single time so far we've met Tomitake-san, who likes to take photographs, and his girlfriend, maybe, Takano-san, and they die and or disappear because Watanagashi also means somebody is being demoned away, as in gone, and we don't know what happened, and one person dies. Except that's not what happened in chapter 2, because 5 people died. 4, 1 survived. That was us. It's all very weird. And that's the story so far. And if you haven't, if you want the details, go watch our playthrough so far. There, could you have done it shorter?
Yes, but that's not the point.
Was this a good recap of chapter 1 and 2 so far? Was it abbreviated? Was it short?
Well, I'll take it. It's all good. Good job.
Yeah, thank you.
Good enough.
Thank you.
We'll take it.
I think it was a decent recap. Thank you very much. I'll settle for that. That's good.
I think
And Tifa would have gone, we finished chapter 2. If you want to know what happened, just watch the 60 hours we put into this game already. Sorry, I'm actually lying. This is the 34th stream of Higurashi. Assuming 2 hours gameplay per stream. Yeah, about 70 hours in.
Hey, I'm seriously trying to start chapter 3 here. There are a few things that I believe we can expect with the things we've seen in the other chapters.
Thanks for being second dog.
Thank you very much.
And congrats.
We'll be in another multiverse / time loop.
Yes.
I think that is to be expected every chapter.
Kind of, yeah.
If it's like chapter 2, a new character will be introduced.
Possibly, yeah.
Because in chapter 2, someone new came in that wasn't in chapter 1, and if that is something all chapters have in common, we'll gain
Meet
someone
somebody else.
I started doing the tree. We had a discussion once, and ever since then I did the tree.
No, 3. This is the correct way of doing it. There, no contrast.
Something felt weird, and I'm like, I'm doing the thing.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
No,
this is the way it has to be.
No. Der German 3. Yeah.
Oh my god. So new character, maybe, if that is something that we picked up on. More information compared to the previous chapters.
What? New information that may or may not clash with what we've already learned, yeah.
Yeah, but in chapter 1 we learned about the dam construction thing, for example.
Yeah.
Then in chapter 2 we learned about it again, but more.
Not really, we mostly focused on the history of Hinamizawa.
Yeah, but I'm just giving an example. We learned more about what happened during those events than during chapter 1, so we got more information.
But maybe those things didn't happen in chapter 1.
That could also be, but regardless, I want to consider it in the back of my mind that it is more.
Can you see that we have very different ways of tackling this question?
Obviously.
Carry on. No, carry on, please.
And now I'm out of it. There was something else where... Oh yeah, and probably that this chapter will also focus on a character, which
spoilers.
we can tell because the art sprites, what are they called?
Here's the thing. I didn't realize this, but I want to say you can blame whoever you want. Me for actually opening my eyes for once, or you want to blame Steam, where I bought the games, or you want to complain to the publisher. The game icon, the little tiny icon for chapter 1 has Reina. And Reina ends up going nuts and killing us. And we learn something about Reina's past, that she attacked her schoolmates back then. Chapter 2 has Mion. And the chapter focused on Mion. Chapter 3 has Satoko. So I'm guessing Satoko is gonna kill us this time.
I mean, I also wouldn't really say that's a spoiler after playing the first 2 chapters.
It's literally on the cover, that's fine.
You can tell. So now it's just something we can expect that we'll get more about Satoko.
Yeah, but now I expect Satoko to murder me.
I don't think Satoko will necessarily murder us, but I do believe we will now go more into her background, about her missing brother, and that we learn more about her side.
Possibly.
If she even still has a missing brother, I mean, who knows?
Maybe Satoshi is back now. Maybe he didn't even pick up baseball in this iteration of the story. Instead, he played softball, which I think is similar but different.
Different sports. I've also been thinking a lot about how events so far could be explained.
Which events? How they are connected in the 2 different chapters, or?
How they're connected, but also the things that have happened, like at the end of chapter 2, where you have
Where zombie Mion shows up.
Zombie Mion.
I don't think that was real. I think that was Keiichi's PTSD.
That could be.
That's not unheard of that people start seeing things.
But I do believe there we do have a Mion-Shion mix-up, at least until the point where we got stabbed.
Yeah.
The bit at the end is probably an hallucination, I agree with you there, because... Or they just go, there is an actual supernatural bit.
Oh, yeah.
Which I kinda hope not, because that can just throw all reason out of the window.
Last thing, because we talked about this today as we were getting our cake that we were eating before it started raining. We're now 2 chapters in. I want to say we're roughly 1/4 through the game, given that there's 8 chapters. I just assume that it's about 1/4 in. And I still have no idea how this is going to play out. But I still truly hope that there is a earthly explanation for everything that happens.
That would be nice.
Because we've played now through a couple of games that have supernatural twists in the end. One series in particular, I'm not going to name it because spoilers, but I'm just going to describe the problem. One particular series that started with science and pseudoscience-y stuff, kept the rules very stringent, and until the very end when they go, oh actually there's aliens, also we have this Deus Ex Machina device, so nothing matters. Anything that can happen can just be waved away because, oh, we just used the device. And then we rewrote history. I don't care how you feel about this. I don't need a good explanation for why the story now goes like this. Character motivation doesn't matter. It could be different people looking the same because we have the device. And I hate that. I understand you can do that, but I want the story to be not random bullshit go. Perfect wording. Yes, exactly. So if there is DuckTales, no. But yes, let's go with DuckTales. So it's not a spoiler. Thank you. Disney lawyers, stop! They're always out there listening. I hope so much that at the end of chapter 8 they won't just go, yeah, no, actually Oyashiro-sama is around us. He's the force that connects us all. And anything that didn't make sense, Oyashiro-sama. Not rewriting or retcon that needed to happen. No, it was just anything that you still ask yourself, yeah, Oyashiro-sama.
Oyashiro-sama didn't like this ending, so he reset it, and that's how the next chapter starts.
Because you can do that, you can go with a supernatural element. But I want to say, it really falls flat when you introduce magic in a setting, and then you go, oh, but magic has rules. But then you stop acting like the magic has rules. Does it make sense? If you go, Oyashiro-sama is the guardian deity of Higurashi, of Hinamizawa. Okay, but what does that mean? What can Oyashiro-sama actually do? Is it seeing dead people, like at the end of chapter 2? Is it making people go crazy? Or is it actually altering reality? Because when you go the full-on end-level Marvel, Thanos has five thingies on his gauntlet thing, where he just snaps his fingers and reality is changed, I stop caring. Because what's the point? If I even get close to solving the answer of the riddle, he can just go, yeah, no, the question was actually different.
Well, if that is
Those
going
things
to
never
happen,
happen.
that is, but...
I hope it doesn't. I hope it doesn't.
Well, let's see where we'll get in this chapter.
Oh.
We already know this one is also going to be a bit longer,
Yes.
so let's see what we'll all learn.
Especially in a work of art, fiction, whatever, where they literally go, do you think it's a supernatural cause, or do you think it's all humans doing this? Like, the game very clearly wants you to think about these two possibilities, and everything is, to me, leaning towards there's a human factor into this.
I think it's going to be both in the end.
Mm.
I mean, something has to explain these loops.
Or not.
Or not, if they're even connected. But it is like a multiverse setting. And I think they want us to believe this is connected.
The end of the game is gonna be Ryokishi07 uploading a selfie going, haha, trolled you, cut to black, game crashes, game over.
It could be. Maybe they really are all standalones.
I don't know how I would feel about it. Truly, we were all the Higurashi no Naku Koroni. Yes, and thus I cry a single tear. I had to think of the NES game, not the show. The NES game is so good. Especially the moon theme. Tifa, are you ready?
Go for it.
Why is the... I had this set up, come on, please. Is Oyashiro-sama striking again?
You
Come
took
on.
too long.
I set this up yesterday in preparation of today. Please bear with me 1 second. There we go. Stream's
There,
haunted.
man.
Yeah, I mean, you could hear it before you could see it. At least that part worked. No. I think last time we did one thing, we made the game louder.
And the text was speed, I believe.
The text was speed. What?
The text speed.
Okay. As you can see, I already got to the main menu. This time I remembered we're not watching the intro video because it contains spoilers. So I clicked that away. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Doo-doo.
No creepy background picture this time, by the way.
Tatarigoroshi, the shortest scenario.
I thought this was the longest.
Okay, who's laughing? The game or you people? I'm gonna say it's the game. Curse killing chapter. Man, curse, or coincidence? However, conjectures inside you solidifying. I look forward to whether those conjectures will waver or become a cornerstone in this scenario. The difficulty is the worst. You will probably not even be able to make conjectures. Are you ready?
I'm ready. That's a nice bridge.
Oh, that fucking laugh. I hate that. Stream is haunted. The snake in the well was happy, for it did not care what was outside the well. The snake in the well was happy, for it had naught to do with what happened outside the well. And you were happy too, for you did not know what happened outside the well. This is a work of fiction. Any resemblance to actual persons or organizations is entirely coincidental. AD 1983, the early summer of the 58th year of the Showa era. It was a very humid day. No, we did not change the text speed. That is throwing me off. That we're gonna set back. Thank you. Because sometimes the text speed to me is giving an indication on how the line is being read. And it just going, no. Not even a slight breeze was blowing. It had been an unpleasant summer, one that wasn't only hot, but swelteringly so. There were various articles of clothing hung out to dry in the messy apartment windows, but the lack of wind evoked an impression far removed from coolness. In fact, it only felt more oppressive. There were crooked houses and apartment buildings lining the narrow, twisting road. In addition, there were planters and flower pots whose contents were beginning to wilt, as well as bicycles and motorcycles on the side of the road, making it even more cramped, more oppressive, and all the more sweltering. Nobody who was in this place at this time was visiting it voluntarily. But in spite of what everyone might suspect, in spite of what everyone might expect, a single motorcycle came rolling in. A lone motorcycle, which couldn't be called neat even as a flattery, pulled up to a 2-story apartment complex and stopped there. A man, fairly old and wrinkled, stepped off. I don't have a motorbike. What are you trying to do, Tifa? Are you trying to enter Hinamizawa?
No. I'm just looking at the 2 bikes in the back. Mm-hmm. The red bike doesn't have its own front wheel.
Yes, it does. You just don't see that because it's hidden behind the blue bike.
Yeah, but you can't see it behind the wheel of the blue bike. I actually felt that. I just see it. Like, I can't help it. There's a wheel missing.
We made it 5 lines into the game and into this chapter. And it is once again time to tell Tifa that the images you see are there to give you a general idea of what is happening. They are not meant to be taken in every detail.
Yes, I know, but that's just what I was looking at.
Some people take the wheels with them so that they won't get their bike stolen. Also very true.
I somehow doubt that's the case here.
When the housewife hanging out the laundry noticed him, she called out.
Well, hello there. It's quite hot today again, isn't it?
Oh, you've got that right. Wait, old. Also, calling her a hoe like that? That's kind of rude. I guess they know each other very well. Oh, you've got that right. I feel like I'm gonna boil out here.
Oh, right, landlord. I didn't think that would be the first thing you said.
Sorry. The fluorescent lights, right? I completely forgot.
No, not that. Don't you smell it? There's a terrible smell about. I've been smelling it since this morning.
Have you tried showering? Wait, what's this? It reeks. Did the sewers get backed up again?
Do something about it, landlord. I've had to keep my nose plugged all day long. All day long.
You'd still look plenty lovely plugging your nose, man, yeah? Oh, sorry, I was expecting you to have another line. There was an unhygienic drainage channel running behind the apartment. The lattice from which it flowed was stuffed with branches and fallen leaves, and when filth got caught up in them, it created an awful stench in the summertime.
Could you tell the men? Yeah, I can't read.
You do it. If I do it, my hand is above your eyes.
Could you tell the municipal office about it? What's that?
Municipal.
Oh, municipal. What's the municipal office anyway?
I think it was Dark Lord that so far every single time it happened came in with the explanation. The municipal office is the administrative people that take care of the issues in the area. To use the easy words. It means it has to do with the city. What Dark Lord isn't typing is, why don't you remember it?
The drain will end up buried at this rate.
Well, yikes! It's completely blocked. It'll start back up if you poke it with a stick. The man crossed the fence of a drain channel and picked up a filthy drying pole sitting nearby. He must have planned to stick it in the drain to clear it out.
Wait, landlord, stop that! If you mix it all strange, if you do that, it will smell terrible.
Yeah, it's sewage. It smells if it's clogged and smells if it's mixed. Which should I choose? This is how I'm gonna actually laugh when I'm like 60. Get used to it. He shoved the drying pole into the filth in the lattice. Of course, it did nothing to help the accumulation of waste.
It's a dead cat. This is the health center's job.
Really, everything smells bad when it dies. Cats and dogs smell awful when they die. A bamboo pole is not going to do much good. Katze? Katze
We're not gonna pet this Katze.
Not this one, no. Poor cat. Garbage bags, old clothes, there's all kinds of stuff in there. And is that a duck I see? Well, of course it stinks. The nerve of some people.
So there's a dead cat. And a dead duck in there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
At this point I would move because either you have some really fucked up people in the neighborhood or shit's cursed. The drainage channel was already unsanitary. What was a little more garbage at this point? The stream of such imprudent people was never ending, and now this channel had turned into a garbage dump. When he poked the pile of old clothes floating in the sewage, a black cloud of smoke floated out in the water. That's not smoke, that's death. The two of them grimaced at the terribly bizarre and repulsive sight. Gah! We've got maggots, eh? Someone must have thrown kitchen waste in.
Landlord, What's that?
What? Just more garbage.
Landlord, that's a person.
That's a person. It has to be. Especially with the sound of flies now.
So we have a cat, a duck, and a human.
Eh! 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 I'm really confident my old man yells.
Oh, hello. Good work today.
Nah, what a terrible stench. Hey, someone cover this thing with a tarp. From the second floor of our house, it's in full view.
Identity of the deceased, unknown. Sex, female. Age, estimated to be late 20s or early 30s. Time of death, about 2 or 3 days ago. She was probably abandoned after death.
Naked too? Figuring out who she is will be rough. Contact the community division and ask if anyone's gone missing.
They probably weighed her down so she'd sink. Then the weights came off and she floated to the top. But why in a drainage sewer of all things? Would have been better under an overpass or in the mountains, you know?
And would have been outside our jurisdiction, right? But it looks like they never wanted to hide the corpse at all.
Did they do it so she would be found? As a warning or something?
This slice in her stomach definitely wasn't from a fish eating her. She was cut open and her insides were dragged out. They really made a show out of killing her. Doesn't the Chinese mafia do these sort of traditional punishments?
You know who else does?
Yeah, unfortunately. I was expecting you to follow up with something like... I actually have no idea. But I don't think I would have liked whatever you said next.
Well, it comes to
I have a feeling...
Watanagashi traditions.
I have a feeling that that is Takano-san.
Cut them open, take the guts, have a little snack, and then you dump them.
That's disgusting. But I think it's Takano-san.
Like a noodle.
Why did you have to make that sound?
Oh, that could actually be.
What, did you make that sound?
That is Takano.
Why are we having two conversations slightly asynchronous? And ask Shiga-san in section 4 if you're in trouble with Yakuza.
On it, sir.
Still, what a terrible way to go. Hey, don't her innards poking out like that look sort of like a salad soba you can get in Kyoto? Maybe if you stuck chopsticks in, noodles would pop out, see?
Ugh. Please give me a break.
Her intestines were pulled out and her ears and nose cut off. That's definitely not how I want to go. Her fingers are in a bad state too. There are 4 long nails stuck in all of them on both hands. What kind of torture was this anyway? Okay, so Takano-san is dead already, and it is after Watanagashi. Why is cannibalism not a command? Or is the bot not working?
No, we don't have a cannibalism command. Why would we?
Shock! You know exactly why. And yeah, shockingly, we don't have one yet.
It's barely
Just
ever a
saying.
thing.
Of course.
Okay, but wait, now it would be curious. Do you think this is after the Watanagashi?
Yeah. It has been 2 or 3 days since Watanagashi. I want to say.
That... Okay, yeah.
Now my next question then is, does the moment we pick up the story have to do with whatever is connecting the chapters?
I have a feeling that's not gonna happen until the answer arc, whatever it will
Because
mean.
in chapter 1, we followed the story from the beginning, I think a week or 2 before Watanagashi, I don't even remember. But from the beginning of when Keiichi moves to Hinamizawa. Chapter 2 starts a few days before Watanagashi, and now we're after Watanagashi.
That could be.
Oh well.
See if he mentions it.
How about before we get into lunch, we're gonna take a short break first.
Alright. BRB.
BRB.
We're back.
Oh, did you hear that? Oh, my shoulder. Alright.
It's okay, you're now young Keiichi, not old landlord.
Tell that to my body. And I'm back. Welcome back,
as
Dark
well.
Cloud as well. I hope your shoulder didn't just make that sound. No,
You skipped your text.
Sorry.
I like how you're looking at it and very confidently go,
The text
Click.
doesn't even show up. What the hell?
oh, well, I was gonna go back for you. It was a relaxing day at school. And it's lunchtime.
I want the line. Like, why is...
It's a relaxing day at school.
Oh no, here it is. Here it is.
Oh, there.
The most relaxing time during the school day? Lunch, for sure. Everyone brought their desks side by side like always, and we all ate together. If I could advance this game.
Oh my. Hey, the art style is a little bit different.
Wow.
On Satoko and Rika as well.
A little bit.
Reina.
It's the angle, Tifa.
No.
It's the angle,
That is
Tifa.
definitely a slightly different style.
Oh my. Mian-san, if I may say, your lunch looks quite appetizing today.
There are so many different things. It's wonderful.
Satoko and Rika-chan looked at Mion's lunch, shouting gladly. Let's have a look. Whoa!
I just packed in some leftovers from last night. All the elders were having a drinking party at my house yesterday. I managed to nab some of what they didn't eat. So that's why they all look like snacks you could have with sake.
But leftovers, mere scraps of food, but when arranged in a bento box so cleanly, they look impressive. It looks like part of a full-course meal at a high-class restaurant.
People seem to decide if they like things mainly based on their first impression. So I thought maybe the taste of a bento would be proportional to how pretty it was when you opened it.
You may seem unrefined, Mian-san, but you are positively splendid at arranging food like this.
Her room is nice and tidy too. Mi-chan is a lot more organized and polite than everyone thinks.
Shout out to Tifa for the first time ever on stream, when the word tidy appeared, not to do a first pass on it and go tiddy.
How often have we even seen the word tidy on stream?
A bunch of times, so
Really?
much so that every single time you have to read it, you say tiddy. Yeah, it's a thing. Plating is an important part of a culinary process. As we say in
that's true.
Germany, das Auge isst mit. The eye eats too.
With me, my eyes only eat in size.
What?
They don't care about how it looks. They only look at how big it looks.
Oh, so you are a size queen when it comes to food.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, you don't put your food in a blender?
No, actually not. Tifa would if you let her, because Tifa doesn't care about chewing. She does not care 1 ounce for texture. If she could just slurp up all of her meals, she would.
It's about taste.
Like I'm saying, texture means nothing to her.
That's why we also have some differences in opinion when we make certain sauces or soup. Because
Or any vegetable.
I just want to blend everything. And he's like, oh, leave some pieces whole. I'm like, why? You want it smooth, not chunky.
If Tifa makes you a vegetable soup, it's gonna be pureed. Completely.
Yeah.
That's not a soup. That's
Still
puree.
a soup.
No, it's puree, Tifa.
And you add more water. If it's too thick.
Then it's diluted puree.
It's a soup.
Tifa, nature gave you teeth. Use them.
You used them on plenty of other things. Why do you want to chew soup?
I'd prefer veggie soup pureed, to be honest. I mean, is tomato soup not pureed?
Like a smooth soup is so nice.
I understand that opinions might vary. I'm saying I like it when there is something I can bite on. Eat your soups however you want. I don't have to eat them. I'm saying if I'm making you a vegetable soup, I might puree like half of it so that it's like thicker and you get some of the flavor of everything into everything, but there will be chunks.
Yeah, that's why you
You're
get
just
like
a pureed soup hater.
croutons or like the soup balls.
Soup balls?
Yeah, I know what they're called. You can buy them in a bag and it has
Backapsen.
little Damn it.
Germany calls them Backerbsen, which would literally transfer to baked peas. They're not peas. And I think they're deep fried, not baked.
Yeah, they're deep fried.
It's like crackers, but round in the shape of chickpeas.
You can try them in tomato soup. I've not seen that in years, by the way.
I see them at the store every single time because they are a deeply German thing and I never buy them.
I'm glad that's still
because
a thing.
I will eat the whole bag. They are basically like those fish crackers, the small ones. Same flavor and everything.
I used to buy them as a kid whenever we had tomato soup, but it's been
They make you
years since
really
I ever
fat.
had them. Yeah.
They're not healthy. They're good for you.
I'm not surprised, but still.
That's why I don't buy them.
That's what you can chew on.
To compare, when I worked at Taco Bell, they had a wonderful combination called the Zesty Chicken Bowl. It has a lot of everything in it, but when you mix it all together, it looks like slop. It's delicious stuff, but when you pile it into a bowl and you mix it into a slurry, it no longer looks appealing.
I don't... I see that.
Every time I have a burrito bowl, I eat the individual parts up until I got the perfect ratio of everything. And then
you mix it all together.
I do the twisty, turny, mixy thing, and then I wouldn't serve it like that, because exactly like you said, it looks like slop. But having flavors and bits of everything in every bite is like...
Yeah, I mean, everyone expects you to do that, but they don't do it for you so that it still looks more appetizing. Like, if you've already seen it, and then you mix everything together, like, that's on you.
I think some people eat the stuff separate or just take a bit of everything.
Yeah, but everyone expects you to mix it.
Tifa is everybody now. In America we call them goldfish. Oh yeah, that's what they're called.
That's
I
the
think
same here.
The same here, I just am not good at names. It's all the same once it's in your stomach. That's a line my dad says all the time. That's also why at least that's what he says, he doesn't care about presentation. It all looks the same when I shit it out. It's like, yeah, thanks Dad, that's a perfect thing to talk about in a restaurant. I'd have thought Mion would say something like that, but to think she had this kind of taste? You can't judge a book by its cover. Mion was careful in everything she did. She never misstepped, faltered, or messed up. I see, she's our club president after all.
Yours is nothing to scoff at either, Reina. Your crab kamaboke flavor or flour is very pretty. Your flavor is pretty. I bet you also buy the chunky peanut butter you even.
Well, you can answer that one actually, because fun fact is we usually get the normal one, funnily enough.
Because it's cheaper.
Because it's cheaper, yeah. Price matters in these things. If the chunky one was the same price, you probably pick the chunky one, even though you usually say you can't notice the difference that much.
I love how the sentence died before your lips.
Yeah, I mixed up the words. But I think you mentioned before that you don't really notice the chunky bit.
I once went out of my way to get the chunky peanut butter because, like I said, I like the crunch, I like the texture. And it was a couple cents more expensive. And when I put some on bread, I was like, this is just normal peanut butter. Then the other day I used the normal, fully blended stuff. I was like, okay, I can tell there's a difference, but it's not big enough for me to pay the extra. If it was cheaper, I would buy chunky peanut butter. If it was actually chunky, I would buy that. But this way, I buy what's cheaper.
I'm also not really sure why the chunky one is more expensive. Isn't it technically less work because you blend it less?
I would think so too, but apparently that's not the case.
Do you think it's the same one and then they just blend it more with some bigger chunks
Somebody sprinkles peanut bits in it. I don't know. Kamaboko is a kind of rice cake that comes squeezed into a shape which you can cut into a flower shape, or a fish cake.
Oh, okay. I was thinking rice cake. Oh, that's tasty. And we need to buy that again. But fish cake? Meh.
You have to mix the blend and crushed bits separately. There you go. Now you know, Tifa.
Well, that explains, I guess.
You know, Reina, your lunch always has like an art to it. Like it has rabbit-shaped apple slices and carrot flowers and stuff. Reina's bento wasn't all about taste. It was like, like she always puts her heart into it or something. It wasn't just good, it made your insides all nice and warm. So it was hot.
I can't laugh as Reina.
Thanks. It's not quite as good as Michan's, but I wanted to make it really cute.
Cooking isn't about skill, it's about love. In that sense, I don't even come up to your feet.
Love, huh? Yeah. Just from looking at her bento, I could definitely feel that Reina put her heart and soul into making it. That's what her bento was like.
And the taste isn't all that counts for a bento. How it looks also matters. I suppose we must learn from this too.
So let's see Satoko and Rika-chan's up-and-coming bento. Whoa!
Ta-da! Yesterday our neighbors shared some meat with us, so we ended up grilling it for our bento.
These ones too, they had such an impact. They were bursting at the seams with grilled meat. At a glance, it was too impactful for a girl's bento, but when you thought about eating with all your friends, it brought more than enough color to the table. I hate the 80s. It was too impactful for a girl's bento.
And then the Dutch come in with their broodje hagelslag. Slice of bread with chocolate sprinkles on it.
But butter on it too.
And butter. Oh, I never did the butter. I tried to like mash it in the bread. So that it sticks a little bit.
Take the individual chocolate sprinkles and put them into the bread.
I hate butter on bread. Except when it's freshly baked bread.
And then just with butter.
And then only with butter and the butter melts a bit on it. That is really nice.
It has to be in my mouth before the butter has melted. I hate melted butter.
No. Like Moroccan bread. Right out of the oven with butter on it. And it's melting and then you eat it. And that is like heaven.
If you like soft white breads, if you ever get the chance, if you never had it, try Moroccan bread. It's good.
Freshly baked. So tasty.
Yeah. Also, just crushing the peanuts a little bit doesn't work. You can do it, but if you do it, it turns more into one of those rough peanut butters.
Yeah, fair.
Rough peanut butter for rough people like me. It will make me more manly. Pointlessly, but still.
Whoa. At first, it looks like the kind of crude bento that a jock would eat. But there are so many different things in here. Like boiled spinach and soy sauce and stewed hijiki.
Rika-chan, you're really good at this kind of unaffected cooking, huh? Yep, I think Rika-chan will make a great wife when she grows up. I have a tight hold on my future husband.
Meep.
A husband for Rika-chan, huh? At first it sounded appealing. It did, but I felt like a married life with her would be anything but normal. Where are we going with this, and why don't we finish the thought? I don't feel like you can just say things like this and then not elaborate. You know?
I get it, but do you know what I not get?
Tell me.
Look at the giant ass shoe that is in the cupboard.
Hijiki is a kind of edible algae. It's a seaweed. Thank you for teaching us something again, Dark Lord. Well, I'm trying really hard to not let Tifa talk about the background art because it's pointless.
But seriously, I don't even think you can. Actually, that shoe is big enough to still see.
In the background on the left side,
in the closet.
The second fully visible little closet thing has some really big shoes in it.
Not even shoes, one shoe. It fits one shoe. That's how massive it is with the blue backpack. And one shoe. Where's the other shoe?
On the foot, hopefully. Why do you hate people with big shoes?
I don't, but it's massive. Like, you look at the picture and it's like, wham, shoe.
Why can't you just normalize people having big shoes?
I mean, that's perfectly fine.
Then why do you need to point it out?
Because it's one huge shoe. Just one.
Yeah, what if there's one? Maybe, exactly, I was going with that. Maybe one of the students only has one leg.
Yeah, could also be.
So you can't have people that have big feet and only one leg. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Do you have a problem with those kinds of people, Tifa?
No.
Because clearly when you point something out, you obviously must have a problem with that.
I'll be the first to help with a shoe exchange. I know there's a website for that actually.
There is nowadays, and thankfully, that's one of the nice things about the internet.
It really is.
Online places where people that only have one leg can meet up or can discuss that they buy shoes together so that one gets the left and the other gets the right. versus somebody who only has one foot that they put a shoe on.
I think that's
Going
really
to
nice.
a store and having to buy a pair of shoes and the other one never gets used. I think that's amazing.
That is indeed a good thing about the internet. But the one giant ass shoe just threw me off.
Tifa, the other shoe is underneath that, don't you see that?
No, it's not.
Yes, there's still like a line of purple that looks kind of like a sausage or something.
That is from the same shoe. That's another thing. That sole is like this thick.
Once again, Tifa ducks out of a frame.
There is only one shoe there.
Guess Tifa's waiting for the other shoe to drop. There it went. I know it's a figure of speech, but I had to. But really, everyone was amazing. They were all so young and yet they're all capable of cooking for themselves. I would sort of cook whenever I went camping with my family, but making lunch every day was a level I definitely couldn't reach. I could only really cook in my spare time. When I thought about it like that, it really made everyone stand out more. Frankly, I respected them. Huh? I feel like maybe this doesn't only apply to other people. Come to think of it, this morning, when I was eating breakfast half asleep, I think my mom was saying something really important.
That's not a sneeze. That's a... Ah, I forgot something.
With a hysteric groan, I suddenly stood up, startling everyone at once.
See? What's wrong? Wrong.
You'll make us choke if you shout like that so suddenly, you know.
There's rice coming out of your nose, Satsuko.
Oh, that's the worst. When you
really
had
is.
something in your mouth and it... Especially when... Not that I've done this except multiple times. When you pulled something like up into your sinuses so it comes out through your nose and it's like solid, like rice, or in my case when I was a teenager, hazelnuts. But also, like if you had your mouth full, chances are good not all of it is in your nose.
When you still feel the little bit.
So it's like, it's in... This never happened with a thing. Yes,
it can happen,
100%.
yeah.
Psycho, if you want to experience this, I do not recommend this. I do not. It is so bad.
It's especially with food. Not the last thing I had coming out of my nose was milk, which is not the worst thing, at least because it's liquid.
Yeah, get your mouth full of water and then have somebody or something make you laugh. It's the putting like air up into your, like towards your sinuses. That's the thing. So you push whatever is in your mouth up there. And trust me, you don't want that. So if you never had that, kudos, I envy you. I've had that happen a bunch of times in my life.
It also doesn't happen like on a daily basis,
No.
but it just can happen.
No. But trust me, if you have food in your mouth, especially not just a little bit, but your mouth is full, it's the worst. When I had hazelnuts in my mouth, my dad made me laugh back when I was like 15 or something. And it hurt like crazy. That part of your body isn't supposed to have solid things like that come out that way. And first of all, it's like when you're like really like congested. So that stuff wants to come out, your body wants to get it out. You're gonna blow your nose for the next 2-3 days. You're gonna have whatever you had in your mouth come out of your nose. It's disgusting and it hurts. And it is a problem. It will irritate your sinuses if it happens. Exactly. It's not good.
It's like when you have to maybe like throw up and you're throwing up so much that it can't all come out of your mouth
So
and it starts coming
nose?
out of your nose at some point.
That's
It's so bad.
true
And
fact.
it starts burning.
This is my number one reason why I hate throwing up. Because it always also comes out through my nose. And it's so bad. It hurts. It's so disgusting. It's like...
Yeah.
So thanks Higurashi for making me relive that. I'd forgotten. All the stuff about cooking for yourself, it applied to me too. Where are we going with this?
He forgot his food. Keiichi, Your mom and dad need to go to Tokyo again for business.
Yeah. Sleepy.
Your dad's mentor fell ill right before an event he was taking part in. It's a very important event and they need someone to fill in.
Well, Dad does what he has to do for his job.
So your dad and I, you see, we need to go to Tokyo as fast as we can to help with this event. We might have to stay there for a few days depending on what happens.
Sounds annoying.
While we're gone, we won't be here, so you'll need to make your own meals yourself.
Did you know that when you're gone, you're not here?
Are you okay with that, Keiichi?
I'll be fine. Humans can do anything when they're desperate.
Is that so? That's a relief. You can at least cook rice, right? And you can make miso soup as well. Then you just buy some side dishes and you'll have a meal.
A meal? Yeah. I can cook rice with my camping kit. I've never used a rice cooker before. I've only ever made instant miso soup that you make in a pot of boiling water too. Well, I'll think of something.
You only have to chew 3 times.
Are you having a problem with me chewing?
Yes.
Good for you. Keep it to yourself.
Because I don't even have a problem with people chewing loudly, but for some reason when you do it now, it's like crawling up my ear and it's this really annoying feeling.
There you go. Jack chewing and swallowing hard ASMR. You know you needed that. You didn't want to say it, but this will be the short that gets us that webby. Never been done before. Trust me. I want to say that some people have uploaded a human being making every possible sound already as ASMR. Oh, sorry. ASMR, but really it's a masturbatory help. Like I haven't watched them, but I've seen the thumbnails of videos where it's like, your people are not watching that for the sounds. Nah. And I think you know that they don't do that, and you're okay. That's fine that you're okay with that. Like, more power to you. But it's not ASMR. No. Well, yeah, you don't need to watch them, you listen to it for the sounds. Yeah. Then why does it also have a video feed?
Because some people like watching too.
Of a scantily clad person leaning forward to the camera and talking with a voice that I would describe as made for porn ads.
Also, you sure know a lot about these videos. Like, I've never seen that.
Good for you. It was also around the time that those bathtub streams became popular. So that ASMR streams would also be regularly on the main page.
Yeah.
Go through my follows if you don't believe me. I'm clean. I don't want that.
Your follows are my follows.
Partially, yes, but also have a look if you don't believe me.
If you can cook for yourself, then you don't need much money, do you?
It's those videos where they get really close to the microphone and they run their fingernails on light bulbs and whisper about haircuts. Yes, and sometimes they also make sounds like... So that, depending on your settings, it kind of actually gives you the impression that somebody's blowing softly into your ear.
Never connected those sounds.
I just ASMR'd you IRL. That was my ASMR Riz. It doesn't help that I'm sitting here and sweating from just sitting.
no eating out, it's too expensive. You're at the age where you should learn about cooking and personal finances now, after all. How about you learn me about cooking first?
You learn me, you teach me.
Yeah, I know, but I was picking out those words. And then we can go to... I'll do this.
Yep. I'll get by. Sure, Mom. Buys frozen food for 3 days. I gotta eat. Just saying. No, I won't! What was I thinking? I was half asleep and I made such crazy empty promises. Just like manga characters always do at times like these. I bent over backwards and scratched furiously at my head.
Scratch. Huh? Keiichi-kun? Your parents sure have it rough. Anyway, you need to keep things in order while they're gone.
Anyway, food! My parents aren't here. I have to make it all myself, you know? This is a huge emergency!
Should you not simply give up and cook for yourself? Keiichi-san, did you not make a fabulous curry dish for the curry party previously?
Oh, the curry party's back.
Listen here. My mom taught me how to cook that curry when we camped and it's the best I can do. I can't eat curry 3 meals a day.
Why not?
I mean, if it's just junk food in the first place. Wait, what?
I would not consider a curry junk food.
Curry was considered junk food in Japan in the 80s?
I somehow don't think so.
What the
Is curry
considered
a soup?
You know,
Junk
Tifa,
food.
if I look it up, I don't need to be half out of the camera.
Why are you always complaining so much?
Because I see the preview and it annoys me.
Like, oh my god. Curry, blah blah blah, high in calories, fattening.
Can be high in calories.
Curry can easily become a greasy, fattening food, and I guess that's why it's considered help food, fast food. There isn't really anything about...
Oh well. Don't let Cheer hear him say that exactly, she will put him straight. It's like a cheap microwavable curry. Okay, if it's processed food, I get the whole like, oh, it's junk food, because usually the stuff that is in there isn't that great for you. But curry in and of itself is not junk food.
You also don't have to make it with like fatty coconut milk.
Yeah, you can make it healthy if you want to.
There are alternatives.
There's no nutritional balance whatsoever, it's just completely... You take that back, Keiichi Maebara. You are a lying piece of filth. If your curry has no nutritional value, that's because you're shit at making curry. I'll have you know.
Stupid! Shh!
Yun and Sata could put their hands over my mouth.
You can't shit talk curry when the teacher is there.
Thank you. Please correct your student here. Usually this kind of curry is made with just rice and a small microwavable packet of curry that you have to pour on top of it. I mean, don't specifically go out and eat processed junk food if you don't want to eat junk food. If you want, cool. But don't just say all of it is like this. A moment later, the door rattled open and Chie-sensei, a known curry maniac, suddenly poked her head in.
Also in this frame, you definitely can't see that on stream, but the shoe looks like it has an open mouth. Like you see it, right? Even an eye.
I don't see it.
Oh, come on. Like you have the little open mouth here.
Yeah, no, I see the mouth.
And then you have the eye bit here and like a big eyebrow and then the bottom of the mouth here. Okay.
What is it with you and that shoe?
No, you just see it straight away.
Did it offend your family or something?
There's always something that sticks out in an image.
It's just a school classroom.
Yeah, so? You don't look at it. Did they make this art for nothing?
I do. And
You're saying you don't appreciate the background art style.
I do, so much that it tells me I'm a kid and I'm now in school in Hinamizawa and then I'm good. You have encouraged the wrath of Chi. That certainly won't curry any favor with her. Pretty good.
It's not different than simply pouring ketchup on it. Oh, as a kid, I loved rice with ketchup and an egg. That's it. Plain rice, ketchup, and fried egg.
That's not even that bad for you.
It's quite nice too. Or spaghetti. But rice is nicer with ketchup.
Keiichi got curry noodles. Yes. Yes, he did.
Did I just hear somebody bad-mouthing curry?
No, we didn't say anything.
anything.
Everyone's faces went totally white and they all shook their heads in denial. Her eyes rolled over the classroom. Her glare wasn't just a teacher's ordinary stare.
Is that so? Must have been the wind.
Like the eye of Sauron, like...
Yeah, nature hates curry.
Fuck nature, man. Chia-sensei gave one more look around the classroom and then closed the door and went back to the teacher's lounge. I may have been shouting, but for her to hear it all the way from across the hall in the teacher's lounge, that teacher is terrifying.
Kei-chan, you can disparage other foods all you want, but you might want to stay away from curry. At least as long as you live in Hinamizawa.
Also, if you move to Germany, I will come and find you. Curry is delicious. Okay. I'm sorry. That's what I said. Still, can't have curry for every meal. And cup ramen is good because you can only eat it. And cup ramen is good because you only eat it once in a while. If you ate it for every meal, you'd get bored of it pretty quickly.
I never had that, getting bored of the same meal. I can eat several things a day or every day. And then, okay, if I need to eat my curry a whole week, that's fine.
I generally have a thing where I feel like eating something and then I eat that every day and then I get bored of it and then I get to the next thing.
As long as it's tasty, I don't really care.
Like sometimes I go through a whole week where in the morning I just toast 2 slices of toast and I eat those just with butter.
At work, people made fun of me for years because I always took the same lunch with me.
Fuck 'em.
The pineapple toasty.
A Hawaii pineapple toasty is pretty delicious.
Yeah.
It has the carbs in the bread, it had the protein in the ham, it has
Chicken,
fruit in the pineapple. True.
Ham is bad.
It has extra protein and some fat that you need in the cheese, and it's a toasty, so that's super handy to eat.
Yeah, they took that along for lunch for like 7 years.
Yeah, same.
Until
it was
eventually got bored of pineapple, you turned into vegetarian, there's a really good replacement to put with it, and I was like, oh, you know what?
It was mostly my fault.
Mostly, yeah.
The traditional Japanese breakfast is rice and miso soup with tea or coffee. Sounds good to me. I could eat that for every meal too. Rice and miso soup and a good side dish? Yeah, that's what a Japanese table should look like.
Why can't you just try to cook for yourself? The rice you make yourself is really good.
This old man thinks it's more pain than good. But experiencing it every once in a while might be nice. It might be rice.
I see what you did there, but...
And that's rice. Life is all about experiences, right?
Stop trying to make rice a thing.
But when you cut your fingers or burn yourself, it's so sad. So very sad.
You know what I never got, and this just reminds me of it? People that refuse to cook.
I mean, if you don't like it and it's wasted effort for you, why would you?
No, people that want to eat a cooked meal but refuse to make it themselves.
Yeah, if you don't like it. I like lots of things too, but am I willing to make it myself?
No, I mean, no, that part I get. But the people that refuse to cook anything.
Yeah, some people just hate cooking with a passion. But you don't do it.
Like, I understand wanting to not wanting to do something and then just not doing it because you hate it, like, okay. But cooking is, to me, such an essential thing. Doesn't everybody eat? And why would somebody not want the ability to make something tasty?
Pretend it's cleaning. I think suddenly you understand it.
No, no, that doesn't work. No, I see what you're trying to do there, and haha, no, that's not the same. I don't like cleaning, but I do it because I must.
Because I force you.
No, I also would force myself at some point because, you know, when I get out of bed and I step into dust bunnies, that's a bit way too far. But clean up takes time, isn't worth if you live alone. I mean, but not to cook anything? Not even like...
Takeout is a thing. There's also no need. There's no must to do it.
I don't know. Would I cook elaborate, lavish meals for myself every day? Like next week when Tifa is gone for 2 days? I don't know. I don't think so because I'll also be working, then I just don't have the time and energy to do that. But I'll cook something easy because I still want food that makes me feel good. Oh well. Like, I understand the concept and like I understand the individual words, but I find that's a very foreign thing for me. I don't know how else to put it. Like, cooked and can bake basic bread, I am able and was good, but it's not fun. Yeah, fair enough, but that's the thing. You can do it. You don't enjoy it.
You can probably do it too. Keiichi never said, I do not know how to cook. He has cooked with his camping kits. The only thing he said, he doesn't know how to use the rice cooker at home.
It's giving me a different energy, but oh well. Making rice in a rice cooker is as easy as washing it off first, adding water and then pushing a button. And that's why we bought a rice cooker actually. True story. Keiichi's a lazy boy who relies on his parents. Also fair, he's like 15, so I was the same at that age.
Yeah, don't really see the problem. He just forgot.
Yeah. Keiichi's actively stating right now that he's willing and capable of trying to make his own food.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Jack's stuck on.
I haven't read the line yet, I haven't even looked at it, but you do have a point, and I should just press A mentally. With everyone encouraging me like this, I started to feel like maybe I could do it if I tried too. Though approximately one person didn't sound like she was encouraging me. Cooking is a skill I'll have to learn at some point since I want to live on my own one day. Maybe learning now wouldn't be so bad. I'm pretty uneasy about it, but you're right. If I don't understand how to cook a few things around here, then I won't be in good shape the next time our club does a cooking showdown. Were you trying to do yawning ASMR?
You are correct. That clever trick of yours in the last curry contest won't work every time after all.
As if scorning me, Satoko ridicules my comeback from a hopeless situation in a certain do-or-die curry showdown. And what are you so relaxed for? You relied entirely on Rika-chan back then, didn't you? What did you cook at the time exactly? You put a bag of salt in Reina's curry, a bag of salt in Mion's rice, and you flipped over my pot. I relapsed into my grudge of the last curry showdown. For now I calmed my unquellable anger by pinching Satoko's ears.
I do wonder where we are in the timeline though. Is it really after the Watanagashi or is it like a few days after the curry showdown? Because we're talking quite a bit about that again.
Both can be true at the same time.
Yeah, I guess. Like there's no indication yet on where we stand.
I think it's gonna come at some point.
Oh! My attack was because that was what they were doing for club. I may not look like it, but I can do a little bit of cooking.
Can you now? Even when you couldn't peel one carrot during the showdown and had to get Rika to do it? Don't be so daft.
People get better every day.
No. What was that?
That was a yawn.
That was an aggressive yawn.
People get better every day, you know. If you think I'll always be crummy at cooking, then you're quite mistaken. Right, Rika?
I have to watch, or else I get worried about the pot and the flame. Sometimes you forget to turn the gas off too.
Tifa does that too. Very rarely, but she does.
What?
You've forgotten like once or twice.
So have you? Excuse me?
That was not the point of my story.
The last few times was always you. And the one time I did not forget, I actually just left plastic on the heating thing. When someone forgets to turn off the stove, it's you. I usually turn on the wrong one.
Same thing.
It is so not the same thing. With when you're standing on it.
Also, please tell me, when I say that you have done that, where does that exclude me? Because you're all like, but you. Yeah, but I was saying you've
pretty
done
much
it.
Always you. Yeah, think back.
I do not trust gas stoves. Yeah, same. Good thing with an electric one. Who among us hasn't at least once? I know, right? Exactly. Everyone burst into laughter. That shouldn't be an issue with cooking. Even I would never do that.
I don't want to hear that from someone who eats nothing but cup ramen.
It's also tasty.
But Satoko can cook pretty well for herself, you know?
Rena, it's fine. You don't need to force yourself to cover up for her like that.
No, I'm not trying to cover for her or anything. It's just that Rika-chan's cooking is by far the best of all of us, so hers doesn't stand out. Satoko has mastered the basics too, right?
At the very least I can cook rice and miso soup.
Well, she can't quite tell the difference between cauliflower and broccoli though.
How? Like, this is not the first time I've heard that expression. Of somebody say that they can't tell the difference between cauliflower and broccoli.
It's more a city boy thing, no?
How? Like, if you rarely ever eat them, okay. If you've barely ever seen them, okay. But once you know cauliflower and you know broccoli, they are not the same.
To be fair, there are some vegetables that I sometimes see in the supermarket and then I would go like, oh, what the heck is this?
Like?
I don't know, these weird white things that you put in your vegetable soup when you're dead.
A celery.
Celery. No, that's not a celery. It's like a big ball. Is that a celery?
A Steckrübe. I don't know the English term for that.
Yeah, that could be.
Steckrübe English. A turnip. That's turnip. I know turnips. Turnips. I've heard of turnips before.
Like if you're not used to eating it yourself and then you see it, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
I can get it. I can.
Rutabaga. What? That sounds like a character name from the Power Rangers. But come on, it does.
Sure.
No. Some people believe this might be because she's mildly colorblind. That's what I've been brought up.
I wanna say you can tell the difference in shape, but
Yeah.
like I said, I get it. It's okay.
It's a large root vegetable that can taste a bit like potato. Okay, fair enough.
Oh, it's an actual thing.
Why would Dark Lord ever lie to us? Who lies on the internet?
They're both the same anyway once you boil them.
That's also not true.
You can use them in exactly the same ways. I don't know a single thing
Similar but not the same.
where you can't replace broccoli with cauliflower or the other way around.
Similar but not the same.
Yeah, I agree, but I mean, you can use them in exactly the same ways.
It's like if we were to replace Jack with Tifa and have a Tifa solo stream on the other, isn't it?
But that's very different. You can't compare the two.
But it's kind of the same.
No, I disagree.
It's still a solo stream on My Favorite Letter is X.
But it's not the same at all.
Neither are broccoli and cauliflower. I'm broccoli, you're cauliflower.
Oh, I can deal with that. I love cauliflower.
If you blend Jack and Tifa together, it's still the same. You don't blend people, please.
I mean, it will look like it's the same.
Cauliflower has large flowers with a smoother texture. I think it tends to be softer than broccoli too. Not after Tifa was allowed to cook either one of them.
I like them overcooked.
They're also usually entirely different colors. The flavor is different.
It's about that you can use them for the exact same things, and it works.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can. There's
No.
nothing. No thing where you use cauliflower where you can't say, okay, I'm gonna put broccoli instead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, there is.
that's all. Like what?
If I make a cauliflower steak, first of all, whoever says cauliflower steaks are steaks, fuck you. That's not a steak. That's grilled cauliflower. It's tasty, but it's no steak. But cauliflower steak.
Then it's a broccoli steak.
That doesn't, no.
Yeah.
No.
Just cut the stonk along.
The what?
I forgot what the English word is.
The stem. The stonk. Stonks go up.
The stem along and there.
I will argue this with her after the stream. Satoko erupted into anger, making two fists and swinging them above her head. Everyone laughed a lot after that.
The others don't matter. I cannot stand being laughed at by you, Keiichi-san.
Yes, perhaps I do lag behind everyone else in terms of cooking skill, but at least I'm confident I never lose to you, Satoko. Not to you, at least.
We should have a miso soup competition, I guess.
Yes.
Oh, what was that? You have the gall to say you're confident? That's what's daft here. I might not seem like a good cook, but I take turns with Rika, you know. I can cook just fine for myself, thank you.
I see. Good for you for being able to cook. I'll buy some candy for you as a present later. I patted Satoko on the head while I made fun of her. Satoko seemed to know I was making fun of her too, since her face went bright red very quickly and steam started to pour out like she was a kettle.
You don't believe me, do you? Anyway, I can cook far better than you can, Keiichi-san.
I see. Then, if you can tell me the difference between cauliflower and broccoli, I'll believe you. Come on, let's hear it.
The green one is broccoli. Or no, the yellow one. Cauliflower is blue, red, green.
Okay, I really do think she's colorblind. Come on now. What color is broccoli? Blue, red, green? It's not a television. Come on, say it.
You can have a different color.
I want to say I've only ever seen green and like bluish purple. Or purplish blue, we can argue that.
Or is it cauliflower that we've seen in different colors? Different
Yeah, it's, you
color.
can put a hue on cauliflower.
Broccoli. Here, pink, yellow, purple,
I did
green,
not know that.
white.
But that's not broccoli in one of those. That's
That's a
Romanesco.
cauliflower.
Yeah. Even the picture Tifa's looking up about different color broccoli has cauliflower in it.
But it says here there are dozens of types of broccoli and colors range from green to purple to white.
I want to argue though that those are like artisanal products made by
Probably.
specialists and not the stuff you regularly buy in the store.
No, those are usually green, but still.
Anyway. Satoko can cook just fine without knowing what color broccoli is. White? Good for you. Good for you.
Stupid Keiichi.
Oh, it was nothing to cry hysterically about. She's so goddamn cute. I stroked her head as hard as I could. Ruffle, ruffle, ruffle.
If you're going to act so smug, then you can surely show us something better than Satoko.
Remarked Mion, giving me just a slightly mean smile. Actually, well, I had no confidence at all in my cooking. But the situation carried me along and I decided to deliver an impressive declaration. Just you wait. Tonight I will make the best darn meal you've ever seen. I'll make a little too much and pack it for lunch tomorrow. You'll be so surprised you'll fall over.
That sounds like fun. I can't wait for lunchtime tomorrow.
You could try and pat me on my head. Her words of can't wait sounded so transparent.
Reina is excited too. I promise I won't laugh no matter what you make.
Alright, so maybe I'll go all out on my bento tomorrow too. Then let's do this. Let's have a bento showdown tomorrow. As a club activity, of course. And we'll throw in a punishment game too.
This is not gonna end well.
My, what an ingenious idea that is. How is that, Keiichi-san? I'll give you one chance to back down.
Satoko wiped her tears and snarled at me as if this was her chance to turn things around. Maybe this is bad? I feel like maybe the conversation is getting pretty out of hand. I think. Oh, if I apologize, now's my chance? But what came out of my Keiichi Maebara's mouth was a statement so reckless it even frightened me. Yeah, you're on. My bento tomorrow will knock you right out of your shoes. And back into the shoe in the background.
Whoa!
Everyone raised their voices in surprise at my bold, confident reply. Ah, no, I've done it. What have I done? I'm so irresponsible.
So, Mian-san, what sort of fantastic punishment game will we have to play if we lose?
Satoko grinned fearlessly, as if to say that it was already decided I'd be playing said fantastic punishment game.
Let's see. Okay, how about this? Whoever loses tomorrow's bento showdown during lunch break tomorrow has to go up to Chi-sensei as she's eating in the teacher's lounge and say bad things about curry.
That is a true punishment.
Me-chan? No, that's...
How terrifying.
Everyone went pale and gasped at how truly terrifying the punishment game was. Chie-sensei is such a maniac about curry that she'd risk her life for it. And to go up to her and start saying bad things about curry? What kind of fate would await us? Just trying to imagine it was scary. And as everyone looked blankly amazed at the terrifying punishment game, Rika-chan spoke. This is the worst one since slapping the principal's bald head. Yes.
It's gonna be even worse if you'll have to insult her curry like, hey, your curry smells really bad.
That looks disgusting.
Yeah, this looks like slop and that's also not healthy.
Immediately expelled.
Is that why you don't have a boyfriend?
Tomorrow's contest will be decided by skill.
Reina and Mion and Satoko, everyone nodded deeply in agreement.
Although Keiichi-san's problem might be his own dinner tonight rather than tomorrow's bento.
Fair. Ha! How disappointing that you can't witness what an amazing dinner I'm going to make tonight. I'll let you have a glimpse of it in my bento tomorrow, so look forward to it.
That is quite a lot of grandstanding. You do know what will happen if you come to us with something terrible, right?
I just can't wait how much trouble you'll be in with Chie-sensei tomorrow, Satoko. What's with all the weird laughs in chapter 2?
Yes, I can't wait either. To see you, Keiichi-san, groveling before her and begging for forgiveness. Saying it all with tears streaming down your face. Yes, I can just see it now.
Satoko does the fancy girl Ojo-sama laugh because she's the trap queen, apparently. What was that?
Yank. Stretch.
Both of us, on the verge of tears, pull on each other's cheeks. Oh, that's so painful.
Stretch.
Trying to muster all your desperation by placing yourself in a predicament. Keiichi, that's so manly.
Really? Is that a manly thing?
Apparently it is now.
Do you want me to do the same to be more manly?
No, it's okay.
Want me to be less manly? Or am I just the right amount of man?
You're the right amount.
Thank you. That's very sweet.
That isn't manly or anything of the sort. It's called being reckless. You can't even cook well. Stretch.
No, stretch!
Reina believes in you. I'm looking forward to your wonderful bento. I'm looking forward very much to seeing Keiichi tomorrow as well.
Her expectant gazes were painful. I was just trying to tease Satoko a little. How did it come to this? Yeah, you'd better look forward to it. How am I able to say such reckless things? I'm being so unreasonable. What the heck is going to happen to my dinner? And the bento showdown tomorrow. No, more importantly, if they make me say bad things about curry to Chie-sensei's face, what'll happen to me? The extreme contrast between my outward bravado and my internal screaming continued as the hot and humid June afternoon dragged on. At least the school day is over now. That entire day, up until school was over, the whole time, my meal tonight and my bento tomorrow were the only things on my mind. And now that I thought about it, it made Mom seem amazing for planning 3 meals a day every day of the year. Yes, good of you to realize now. Go thank her. I've complained before about having the same meal in a row once in a while, but now I know how rude that was. More importantly, what am I gonna do about the punishment game tomorrow? And besides that, what am I gonna eat tonight?
Keiichi-kun? Keiichi-kun?
Huh? Oh, sorry. I was just thinking about stuff.
About what to make tonight? Or about the bento showdown tomorrow?
Ugh. She hit the mark and I couldn't find anything to say. And my facial expression made it obvious. The fact that she hit the mark.
For tomorrow's showdown, I think that if you do your best to make a bento, you'll be fine. There's nothing superior to a bento you tried really hard to make all by yourself.
Tomorrow's showdown is one thing, but what about dinner tonight? I might suddenly get food poisoning. I couldn't make any more bluffs. I exaggeratedly drooped my shoulders and heaved a sigh from the bottom of my gut. Reina laughed in a shrill way when she saw me do that.
Keiichi-kun, you don't have any confidence in your cooking at all, do you?
So I've been found out. Blech.
If it looks like you can't do it, no matter how hard you try, you can always give Reina a call.
Really?
But only if you try really hard first, okay? You can't rely on others without first struggling yourself.
Reina seemed naive, but sometimes she was instructive. She didn't just spoil people unconditionally, unless they're cute. Which, fair. Reina always seemed like an adult at these moments. If I absolutely can't do it, I'll call you. Though the chances are extremely high. The gods help those who help themselves, said Aesop. That is a good way to look at it. What does oyashiro-sama come into this?
But this is a competition, so that would be cheating,
Not if gods help all of them.
I guess.
Go for it, yay! You were grandstanding so much to Satoko-chan that you have to try your best.
Yeah, good point. Hey, about Satoko, how good is she at cooking?
She's at least better than you.
That was so direct. It hit me pretty hard.
You were making fun of her a lot too. Maybe you should have to struggle just a little, huh?
Nah, Reina, you're pretty mean.
Keiichi will have a little oyashiro-sama hiding under a chef's hat.
Pulling his hair is controlling him.
Suddenly the multiverses all come together.
It's
But
not,
it's gonna be a cicada.
It's not ratatouille. It's not watanagashi. It's watanatui.
Yeah, satatouille.
Satatouille?
Or sitatouille.
What?
It has to be a cicada under his head.
Oh.
There's nothing else in this place.
A higutui.
Or that.
Higurashi is the card. Higurashi. Ratarashi?
Now we're trying too hard. Reina isn't all cute, all cute. All of them are awkward.
Aww. Now that I'd provoked Satoko that much, I couldn't just make some crummy bento. Ah, I can't believe how loose-lipped I am.
Okay, fine. Good luck. On the cooking. Show everyone that you can do it if you really try.
Yeah. I waved my hand absently in response. Leaving me with words of encouragement and a few pieces of super beginner advice, Reina disappeared past the trees.
Just buy some tasty things in the supermarket, worst case, and pretend you made them.
Go to a restaurant, take the leftovers along and pack those in the bento. Might as well. Oh, not even a supermarket scene where we have to go shopping? Fine, I'm desperate. So what? I may not know the ABCs of navigation, and I have neither a sea chart nor compass. But still, one idiot is taking on the ocean of a great cooking age alone. And his name is Keiichi Maebara. He just called himself an idiot. Let's go. Time to cook. My enthusiasm is peerless. If energy and recklessness was all it took, I could take over the world. However, there are plenty of things in the world that can't be achieved with resolution alone, and cooking was probably the top contender. Therefore, even if it was hastily prepared knowledge, I wanted something to help me. I made up my mind and fished through the kitchen cabinets. I was on the hunt for a cookbook. My mom should have had a few of them. For a complete amateur like me, the first thing I needed was information.
Isn't it nice how we now have the internet where you can just pull every recipe?
How do I make the food I want to eat?
With a step-by-step instruction.
Yes, but at the same time also frustrating, because Tifa and I really like Indian dishes. And every single time in the beginning we looked up Indian dishes, it was like, use these 16 spices. And we're like, we have 5 of those? I think eventually we just gave in and bought all of them.
Not even.
Most of them, because we have made curries and stuff before.
Yeah, but none of the dishes we wanted to make.
I was trying to show you the positive of actually doing it, but of course Tifa had to come with her pessimistic realism.
Yeah, because we haven't.
Anyway, we went out of our way to get some of them. So
The
I
easy
understand
ones.
the frustration of finding something in a cookbook that looks really tasty and you like the idea and you want to make it, and then we go, oh, you need 32 steps and 800 ingredients and 790 of them you've never heard about, you don't know where to get them, and you don't even know what they are.
Yeah.
Thanks to the internet you can just Google that too, but still.
Well, the moment it's too complicated and I already see 100 things I still need to buy, I also don't feel like making it anymore.
Yeah. Just like he who would cross the oceans needed a compass. For me, a cookbook was absolute. Why am I swallowing letters? Just like he who could cross the oceans needed a compass. For me, a cookbook was absolutely indispensable. Oh, here's one. Its worn out, wrinkled cover made it feel somehow reliable. Okay, as long as I've got this. It's easier to give it a shot than think about it, right? Anyone can concoct the tastes of a gourmet chef as long as they have a cookbook. Cookbooks are great. And as such optimistic thoughts filled my chest, I flipped through the pages. However, whoa, it played with technical terminology like toys. I just couldn't see how to actually make things. You knew it all along, Keiichi Maebara. If anyone could make delicious food just by reading a book, then there would be no such job as a gourmet chef in the first place. First off, it calls for 3 teaspoons, but which spoon is that? And it keeps saying to use however much you like. How much exactly are you supposed to use? Stop using such obscure expressions.
That is very true. I also, if you are like an absolute beginner and you read a...
Salt and pepper to taste. This is the first time I'm making this. I don't know my taste yet.
Yeah, but that's with a lot of things. Like when they come with a whole list of spices and it's like, oh, just put in a bit of what you like.
Yeah. I don't know what I like.
It's like, just come and give a basis.
Yeah.
And then I'll continue the however much you like.
My favorite recipes that I find online are the ones that go, okay, this is the basic recipe, and if you want to deviate or make substitutes, this is what we suggest. You could go with more or less of this. If you want to change your flavor, you could try this. If you don't have that handy, try that. Nice. Thank you.
Especially if you just start cooking. That can be very... Wow, what do I do?
Yeah. Stop using such obscure expressions. Strain out the water in a colander. Add salt and pepper to taste. What the heck is a colander? And strain it out like stretching? You can't stretch water droplets like meat. And besides, how much salt and pepper is that supposed to be anyway? That's what I just said. Ah! Aren't there any beginner-friendly guides in here? It won't do you any good to yell. Cool off, Keiichi Maebara. Think calmly, calmly. For now, leave the side dish until later. The rice is more important. Have to cook the rice or I can't start. I know a little about how to cook rice. Didn't cook it with my camping kit when camping all the time for nothing. I'll wash the rice. That should be enough water. And which switch is it? Is it this button? Oh, the lamp turned on. Yeah, fully automatic rice cookers are one of the 3 sacred treasures after all. Now, pleased by the rice cooker set, I pulled myself together and decided to take on the miso soup next. The miso soup I made at day camp was all the instant kind after all. Well, it would be fine if I just melted the miso into hot water, no doubt. I'll boil the water and put in the miso. Huh? How much should I put in? Let's see here. Use the proper amount according to the number of people and your tastes. Enough with the vague expressions! Oh, fine, then I'll put in the proper amount. I crushed the bag of miso in my fist and put half of its contents into the pot. Was this really okay? Maybe this was a little too hearty? I do say miso soup is best when it tastes strong. Come to think of it, my mom's miso soup is a little thin. Maybe I like it better with this much in it. I said it aloud as if trying to convince myself. Then, convinced by my own words, I nodded to myself. Alright, the rice and miso soup were probably fine. Next, the side dish. But what should I make? Something I could make that would add color to the meal. That's it! Why don't I stir fry some vegetables? You can eat vegetables raw too and they won't die just from a little bit of fire. I was so cute then, not realizing that the level of my thoughts had fallen from what would look great in a meal to what would be easy to make. There were quite a few vegetables in the refrigerator. What kind of vegetables go in a stir fry?
Everything.
Bean sprouts? Cabbage? Chives? Onions? Can you put cucumbers and lettuce in? For now I grabbed a nearby cutting board, cut them into chunks and tossed them into a wok. This has gotten pretty exciting. Is the true worth of men's cooking? Hey, this is actually getting kind of fun. All of a sudden there was a pile of vegetables in the wok. Alright, next is the salad oil.
Glug, 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 glug.
Went the salad oil? It'd be more exciting if I filled it to the brim.
Wait, what?
Whoops, a bit leaked out. Well, no point in worrying about something so minor.
Is it now a marinade?
The great Keiichi Maebara's cooking is exciting. Okay, let's turn on the heat. Okay, question. Has he taken a wok out of the cupboard or whatever, put it on the stove, added chunks of assorted vegetables, then drowned that in oil and now turned on the heat? That's not gonna work.
Wasn't that for the salad? Didn't he make a salad on the side?
Usually thicker veggies, ones with higher water content. I usually just use whatever I have laying around.
You can use everything really.
You just need to know how long to cook them. If you fry bean sprouts, if you do it too long, they just go.
Well, this is not gonna be a stir fry, this is gonna be a deep fry.
Yeah, that's a fire hazard.
This is fine.
The salad oil filling the wok to the brim caught fire and flames reached up to the sky. Amazing! Maybe I can be an Iron Chef too. What if I'm really good at cooking with fire? Those words were spoken by delusion. I was saying something outrageously careless, but when the words came out, they sort of convinced me. Yes, I am an Iron Chef. How?
This is absolutely working out great.
What if I just add more fire? Keiichi the firebender. I think he's going to be bent by the fire, but hey, who knows?
You should start bending it the other way.
Right as the crazy pillar of flames started to burn the ceiling, I finally realized that the fabulous cooking before my eyes had culminated into an actually life-threatening disaster. Wait, what? Could I have been doing something insane? The force of a flame grew stronger and stronger. Wait, what? What?
What in the world are you doing? You must stop the flames this instant. Kertwack!
Somebody forcefully struck me in the back of the head. When I turned around to see what was going on, to my surprise I saw Satoko and Rika-chan there. The flames, you can still hear them in the background. Eh? Satoko? Rika-chan? As I stood in wonder at the unexpected entrance, Satoko shoved me out of the way and turned off the gas. Then Rika-chan got a towel, soaked it in water, spread it out and placed it over the pot. She continued to soak more towels and put a second on, then a third.
Did she put water over a pot with oil?
The towel to suffocate the flames.
Yeah, okay.
Talking is a free action. Yes. Good thing all life is like D&D, right? Once a whole bunch were piled on, the fire finally stopped.
It's always nice when the fire waits for you.
All of it had happened in a few moments. Fucking should be. Imagine how much easier all of life would be if talking was a free action. Having avoided a huge fire by a hair's breadth, the three of us gasped for air. Wait, what are you doing in my house? You're trespassing on private property!
Good thing they were.
Yes, well, Keiichi-san, you've been caught red-handed in the act of arson. It was just about to turn into a huge building fire, wasn't it?
It would be very, very sad if Keiichi was homeless after this.
I don't think homelessness will be his problem after a fire like that. And after pretending to be an Iron Chef, I finally began to take in the situation. So that was really about to set the house on fire? The flames didn't give it away, Keiichi?
Is that not obvious? Just look at it! The ceiling is all sooty, is it not? Chimneys are the only things that should be sooty.
I can just picture it. Like, huge black spot on the ceiling, like...
Doesn't every kitchen have this? Like, it's normal.
Yeah, I mean, right? Satoko was seriously mad at me. Maybe they saved my life. Not maybe, definitely. According to what they said, I was so absorbed in my fiery cooking that I hadn't noticed when Satoko and Rika-chan rang the doorbell. But they could tell someone was home, so they came in to check. Thank goodness they did. Usually an industrial range has an area above it to absorb heat like that. Yeah. They
Does
do.
it?
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
never seen...
You know, in like professional kitchens, they have these things over them.
Yeah, but we're not in a professional kitchen.
Yes, and? We don't cook with flames like that. Do we?
Yeah, but I mean, an industrial range you can have everywhere.
What?
Or am I thinking of something else?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, then I didn't say anything.
If Satoko and I hadn't come, the fire engines would have been going wee-woo right now.
Keiichi-san, do you understand now how serious this was?
At some point I had to sit down on my knees as I listened obediently. I'm sorry. You two saved my life. Keiichi can't steam a good ham. How old is that? Was it Simpsons episode by now? It must be 20 years.
We thought we would come and see what a fabulous dinner you made. But as we thought it's a mess. At this rate, we won't even need to look at your bento.
Might as well send him to Chi-san now.
Yeah. Older than Higurashi, exactly. And Aurora Borealis at this time of day, here in Hinamizawa. The things you see. You mean... So you and Rika-chan came all this way just to see what I'd make up for dinner?
Us being mean saved your house and your life. It's not something to take to heart.
I came here to laugh at you. Hold your Satoko.
As they should, especially after his big mouth.
Yeah. Yes, I'm sorry, Satoko-san. At this point, having shown him such a disaster, I couldn't exactly make any more bluffs. I completely surrendered.
And yet you tried really hard on the curry. Where did the Keiichi-san from back then go? Jeez.
Yeah, that's also what I don't get, because now he's like completely ignorant when it comes to cooking. But we have seen him cook there and it was fine.
I understand that to a degree.
He even used a rice cooker there.
I mean, I don't, but I think I do. Listen.
Nah.
No, hear me out. When I first started working, I didn't know how to do, like, what taxes were. Like, I know what taxes are, but how all the taxes stuff works, how health insurance works. Later, when we moved out, insurances for the apartment and all the stuff in it, and then eventually doing our own taxes. Like, I've done paperwork before, but especially when it came to finally, for the first time, doing our taxes ourselves.
You can't compare paperwork to taxes.
Sometimes, Tifa, doing things that are very similar on an objective level, subjectively feels completely different and your mind just goes blank.
I get what you're trying to say, but your example is shit. Because it doesn't. But he's now acting like he has never seen a stove in his life. Like he's never cut vegetables.
It's really funny that you say that when I just told you how I feel, and then you go, yeah, you didn't feel that way. Yes, I did.
I'm not saying you didn't feel that way, I'm saying your example is shit.
But it's the truth.
I mean, like paperwork, like taxes is its own different world. I mean, if that's how it was for you, that's how it was. But
paperwork. They give you a form to fill in, and then you just look up the data and you enter the data there. But somehow, the first time we did our taxes, that took us 3 days. The second time, it took 5 hours.
yeah, because taxes is a whole different world. But now he's acting like he's never seen these things in his life.
I don't know what to say. I kind of get it, but taxes are just high-stakes paperwork. Exactly.
Taxes are a whole different world, not to be touched.
I don't know how taxes work in other countries, of course, but in Germany, what I found the funniest about doing your taxes is when you do them, first of all, not everybody has to. If you're just employed at a company, like you are in an employer-employee kind of situation, like most people are, you will most likely never have to manually file your taxes. We do because of streaming and stuff. So the first time I did our taxes. We did our taxes. We made some mistake on one of the forms, and I didn't realize. And then one day we got a letter from the Finanzamt, the German IRS, and they just told us, hey, we looked at the paperwork and this doesn't check out. Here's why. Here's what you did wrong. Now we did this. If we misunderstood, please contact us and let us know. I was thinking like, that's so easy. If you just fill in the stuff to your best of your ability, if something isn't clear, they'll just tell you or ask, and you can just communicate with them. It's not like you suddenly, like somebody rings the doorbell and then they drag you away from your home. You did the taxes wrong.
They might if you have some higher taxes.
If you don't declare when you should be paying like thousands of taxes, yeah, I'm pretty sure they'll get pissed if it seems like you're doing it on purpose.
I think they look at the small fries a bit differently.
Yeah, but with like honest mistakes or people not knowing better, they're just people too, you know? Like they don't gain anything from treating you like shit. Oh well.
You've never gone to like a Finanzamt in Germany, have you? Or like a city hall?
Yes, I have. What?
Because that seems like the general sport.
Yeah, some people that work with customers shouldn't work with customers. But what else? Keiichi is not an Iron Chef master of a flame. Not yet. I'll give it to the end of this chapter. I had all our underclassmen help me then, and I just borrowed entire pots from the other teams. I didn't really cook anything.
But he did at first. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, and he ruined it.
Yeah, not because he ruined it.
Oh yeah, true. No, his actually turned out fine until they destroyed it.
Yeah. He made a good chili until she sabotaged a good...
What version did you play?
A good curry until she sabotaged him, and then he went to the rest.
Keiichi-san, you cheated. Jeez, you might have been doing what our club usually does, but that was terrible.
It's only cheating if you get caught, right? Pouring salt into the other team's pots seemed far more terrible to me. But Satoko was in control right now, so I couldn't respond. I obediently hang my head to her.
By the way, Keiichi-san, this terrible pot. This wasn't supposed to be miso soup, was it?
Satoko stared at the pot totally full of miso with an awful expression. So I really did get the amount wrong.
Wrong cookbook.
The audacity! I'd say they are quit. It's the German way of saying they are even. Yes, they should be. After all she did, yes, definitely. But isn't the nice thing about clear soups like a miso soup? If you put in too much broth and or miso, you just add more water?
I guess, yeah, but it's already filled to the brim.
Then you pour half of it into a different pot, and then you fill both water.
That's not possible.
Why not?
No. We can't do that.
Add more salad oil first.
If you want 4 months of miso soup, you can freeze it at least.
I'd rather keep doing the pot and more water thing to get one helping of miso soup I can actually swallow, than throw the whole pot away. But hey, you know, judging by the look on Satoko's face, whatever was in the pot couldn't be called miso anymore. Forget the miso soup, the rice should be cooked just fine. Rice cookers these days are pretty convenient. It should be just about done.
Hey, it's not cooked. See, the inside is still all watery.
Eh? What? But I switched it on and the little light came on.
It's probably the stay warm function.
Yeah, not the heat up.
Go find a line to save on.
Keiichi-san, the button you pushed was the timer button, okay? It's set for breakfast, so it won't turn on until tomorrow morning.
But tomorrow
fresh
morning,
rice.
There will be freshly cooked rice and it will be amazing. Yeah! So then what? In the end, I don't have a side dish or miso soup. Or even rice. I couldn't make anything myself.
It serves you right. So, have you finally realized your place? Come, admit it. Say it. I, Keiichi Maebara, am all bark and a much crummier cook than Satoko Hoji-san.
Gah! I'm a terrible person and a crummier cook than Satoko. I beg your forgiveness. Gah! I fainted in agony. Rika-chan pat my head, satisfied at the sight, and Satoko laughed loudly in triumph. I've completely lost. In the end, I talked big but couldn't make a single dish adequately. At this rate, I'll go without dinner. And tomorrow morning, no breakfast and no bento for lunch either. I didn't know how many days it would be before my parents returned, but at this rate, without a doubt.
So what has he done all the other times his parents were gone?
I'll starve to death.
Meep.
Of course, I have no bento tomorrow either.
Meep.
And I'm sure to get the punishment game tomorrow.
Meep.
Rika-chan kept on petting Matt with a smile on her face but couldn't possibly get any bigger. Satoko, completely appalled how unsightly I looked, heaved a heavy sigh.
Adult men are just so pathetic, aren't they? Come on, please move yourself out of the way.
As I sobbed like a girl, Satoko, displeased, brushed me aside, dumped the remains of a miso soup into the sink tidy, then began to rinse out the pot. Don't worry about it, Satoko. I can at least clean up after my own mess. I couldn't have Satoko clean up the cooking utensils I'd made a mess of. But when I tried to stop her, Rika-chan pulled on my clothes.
Keiichi, you can just be silent and watch.
She grinned as she said it. But be quiet and watch. What are you saying, Rika-chan?
She meant just what she said. Keiichi-san, just be quiet and leave this to me.
Satoko turned around and declared, seeming bothered. As if to say that amateurs should keep their hands off. Her annoyed expression was a little scary. Leave what to you? Satoko didn't answer. Instead, she spun back around and began to rifle through the pots and the refrigerator. Hey, wait, don't mess with him too much. If you turn the place inside out, my mom might get mad at me later.
Don't mind the burn spots that we already have on the ceiling.
Keiichi, for the love of all that is holy, shut the hell up.
Would you just be quiet already? Men aren't supposed to enter the kitchen. Rika!
Aye, aye, sir.
Satoko snapped her fingers and Rika-chan got on her tiptoes, grabbed me by the back of my neck and started dragging me away. Ah! Let's save here.
I do feel like this should be an automatic lose though.
Why?
Well, now they're gonna make stuff. Which he can probably take along for tomorrow.
So? He's gotta eat.
Yeah, that is fine, but he should already lose the competition.
Only if they spill the beans.
Someone has to do the penalty game, and obviously he was the worst.
I don't know about that. He's already lost on a spiritual level.
That as well.
100% he did. And honestly, deserved. Why would you... I mean, yeah, he got carried away and stuff, so... It does make sense. It does make sense.
It really does.
Youth and puberty and wanting to impress others.
Well, I guess we're gonna find out who will do the punishment game on Friday, because Tuesday and Wednesday
please
will
stop.
be
You're so bad at this. Higurashi will continue on Friday because Tifa has a work thing on Tuesday and Wednesday, and that will be the time when I, the one that doesn't keep working and instead sticks to the schedule,
The way I said it was
will
fine.
get to continue and finish Sonic Adventure. So please look forward to that. Yeah, but I hate the way you set it up every time.
But why?
Because you go into this with a weird kind of energy.
You have a weird kind of energy.
Maybe, but I like mine better.
Well, whatever. What he said then. There you have there.
I don't know. I feel like I say this during every Higurashi stream and way too much. I have no idea where this is going.
Yeah, but now we're like at the complete beginning. I would just like to know at where we are for now, before or after the Watanagashi.
Timeline-wise, that would be really handy, yes.
Still gonna be a while before we figure that out, probably.
But the intro makes it seem like we are 2 or 3 days after Watanagashi.
Yeah.
And we know that the curry thing has already happened. But that was before Watanagashi. So. Also,
hard to say.
The characters are also a slight bit different each chapter.
Is it?
I don't know if that's on purpose, but they also have different like little details in how they speak. In chapter 1 and chapter 2, I don't recall a single instance of him going "Nga."
Because these were only things they have, but at like the frustrating moments. It's not the first time.
But plenty of things have happened where they had an audible reaction and never did anybody go "Nga." Not that
they've
way
had something
specifically.
else in the same sort of way.
Also, in chapter 1, when they laughed, they went ha 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 ha, and starting with chapter 2, it became ah ha 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 ha.
Things to get stuck on.
Yeah.
I would say that is a coincidence. Keep it in mind, but that is absolutely a coincidence. I refuse to believe that is something.
I don't believe in coincidences in a game that is all about if you stop thinking you lose.
When it comes to how they laugh, I do think so. But maybe, who knows? I do not know.
I am not so sure about that, but I'll take your word for it. Any predictions yet?
No, not yet. And
Same.
unless you have any, I'm gonna press the button because it's getting really warm in here.
That's because I'm so hot.
Then I'm pressing the
Summer
button.
sucks.
Any more last words of wisdom?
Yeah, please don't press the button.
Oh.
And now the stream continues. Go press the button, Tiva. Thank you everybody for hanging out with us and starting the beginning of chapter 3 of Higurashi. That's what the name was. I'll be back on Tuesday with Sonic Adventure. See you next week. Bye!
Bye!